Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
And we welcome you to the kickoff of the 2022 high school football season. John Hart couldn't be with us tonight. I'm Ashley Brown. I'm joined by Nathan Edwards. We are at Fried Valley on the campus of Augusta Christian as the Augusta Christian School Lions play host to Rich Spring Monetta. Nathan, both these teams coming off great years a season ago.
Absolutely. Both coming off 9-3 seasons. Both made deep runs into the playoffs, but both of them are really having to replace a lot on the offensive side of the ball. You had Rem Leapart for Rich Spring Monetta, accounted for almost 3,000 yards and 36 touchdowns. And then you have Zach Blackwell on the Augusta Christian side, rushed for over 2,000 yards. So there's a lot of young talent on these teams. It's time to see who's going to step up.
Absolutely. I've talked to both coaches coming into this game, and you know, the one thing Rich Spring Monetta does have is a very experienced and big offensive line. 2 4-year starters, a couple of 3-year starters. That is kind of their bread and butter. They're going to try to run the football. They've shifted offenses this year with losing Leapart. They're not going to run the spread. But for Augusta Christian, they've got they lost some linebackers on defense, but they've got a couple of stalwarts, and Wes Michelson and the big fella, Luke Wilson, 6'9", 265 at defensive end.
Absolutely. Definitely an imposing figure out there on the field. He definitely is much taller, bigger than everybody else, so definitely nowhere to hide when you're that big.
Yeah, we'll be talking about him. He's got several scholarship offers, including 4 Division I offers. And as the season game goes on, we'll also be talking about a big-time freshman wide receiver named Aaron Gregory that Nathan knows very well. Well, I guess it's time to get to the Ford keys to the game as we get set here for the coin toss. And let's start our Ford keys to the game with, well, hold on one second. Rich Spring Monetta's got to get their team on the field first. They had run out, and then they went up so they're not going to come back out again. So we'll wait on that real quick and get before we get to the keys. And there you see, that's Rich Spring Monetta coming off that 9-win season. They're coached by Brian Smith. He's in his 4th year. He is a longtime coach in this area, around South Carolina, around Georgia, and even at the college level. As we said, he had a 9-win season last year, and now the captains are going out. Our Ford keys to the game for Rich Spring Monetta: find a leader with Rem Leapart gone, and ball control. Keep the ball away from Augusta Christian. For the Lions, they got to get the ball to their playmakers in space and play physical and fast pace. Rich Spring Monetta only has 28 players. That's your Ford keys to the game.
Good deal, all right? You guys are captains for a reason. Take control of your team so we don't have to step in, okay? Make sure if they're talking, red talks to red and white talks to white, okay? White, you guys are the visitor team. You'll be calling it, okay? That's a tails, it's a heads, it's a heads, it's a tails. Call it while it's in the air. I'm going to let it hit the ground, okay? Here we go.
Tails. Tails is the call.
It is a heads.
Or defer. What's that, head?
What did he call?
Tails.
You go.
Or defer.
You're going to defer. Very good. Red 1 and deferred. You want the ball? Very good. Which end do you want to defend?
Or defend, schoolboy.
Very good. So this way. White coming over here. White come here and face. There you go. White will receive.
So
Guys, shake hands. Good luck. Have fun.
They will defer. So Rich Spring Monetta will kick off the 2022 season. When we come back, it's WJBF Game Night Live from Augusta Christian. We'll have first half action when we return. And we are back. Ashley Brown, Nathan Edwards, and down on the field, Matt Lane, as we get set to kick off the 2022 season. Augusta Christian kicking off to Rich Spring Monetta. Both teams, as Nathan said in the pregame, went to deep into the playoffs a year ago, finishing off 9-3 campaigns. And Wilson Donnelly, the Greenbrier transfer, will do the honors as he kicks it deep. And Rich Spring Monetta inside their own 5. And, what a big hit to start the season. Wow. A big hit for Augusta Christian. I said they needed to get off to a quick start. That's a good way to do it, Nathan.
Trying to get the hit of the year in on the first play.
On the very first play. Wow. Now, Rich Spring Monetta, a totally new offense. Last year they were in the spread. Rem Leapart would run around and find somebody or run it himself. This year they will, and you see that big offensive line that they want to run behind. Augusta Christian no slouch either, though. A.J. Benz, number 35. And you see Rich Springman's offense. The key to that line is going to be the big fella, Liggins. Kanan Liggins. And they're going to hand it off on first down right up the middle. It's kind of a ball control offense. They don't want to turn it over. They'll be happy with 3 or 4 yards that time, though they're not going to get it, as they're going to be stopped right about the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him about a yard. Actually, 3. Didn't think he got that many. Here we go, 2nd down and 7 for Ridge Spring Monetta. Ball's fumbled. That's one thing they cannot do, and the big fella, Luke Wilson, slings the quarterback down. There's a flag down on the play, but that is what Coach Brian Smith said they cannot do, is turn the ball over. They're not a quick strike offense. They got a lot of new pieces.
Personal foul, face mask, number 20 of the defense. The 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Result of the play is a first down.
If you're wondering, yeah, that's Luke Wilson. He is 6 foot, number 23 for Augusta Christian. He is 6'9" and weighs 265 pounds. And one thing we're going to do this year is spotlight the coaches. I've been talking a lot about Brian Smith, super experienced, former college coach, has been to the title game multiple times, including with Strom Thurmond. And then Coach Stickle on the Augusta Christian side, his 3rd year here, and he has had a lot of success since stepping in at Augusta Christian. And Coach Stickle was the middle school coach before he took over the high school program. And again, the last 2 seasons have been great for the Lions. And they're now, he's 18-6 in 2 seasons coming into tonight. So Ridge Spring Monetta on offense. Their quarterback, his job tonight is to protect the football. There's a look at 23, Luke Wilson.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the game. They're small in the amount of players they have, but they do have a massive offensive line for sure.
They do. James Bosket is the quarterback. He's a junior. And he's going to hand it off right up the middle. And Augusta Christian was ready. That was Samuels, number 11. Cam Samuels, a 5'7", 176-pound senior. And, Cam Samuels is 5'7". He's given up a foot and 2 inches to Luke Wilson. Here's Luke, who known as a basketball player primarily, and last year he started to really show some potential in football. This summer had a great summer, got some scholarship offers, and has put on some weight.
Yeah, that size on the basketball court just can't be fair.
Yeah. And here's Bosket, and he's nowhere to really go as Augusta Christian. He does a good job, though, keeping his feet moving to pick up a couple.
Number 22, Anthony Flute, and number 45, Elton
Bring up a 4th and 3 or 4.
Yeah, and in the spot on the field, let's see what they decide to do.
Long 2.5.
Looks like they are going to punt it.
Alex Burdett in punt formation for the Trojans. Number 5,
so it's Burdett, the senior, who will punt it away. Back deep for Augusta Christian is the electrifying Dallas Carter, sophomore, who really showed some flashes of brilliance last year. Burdett kicks it with the left foot. Carter will he's going to let it bounce, and it's going to roll inside the 10. Good punt, or right at the 10.
The punt rolls dead at the 10-yard line.
So excellent punt for Ridge Spring Monetta as they pin Augusta Christian back to the 10. And now we'll get our first chance, Nathan, to see that Lions offense with Grayson Brooker, who last year was the backup quarterback, but the starter really struggled. Jeb Bradford throwing the football to the other team, had a lot of interceptions. So late in the year, they put Brooker in, and he took the job. And Jeb Bradford, who's a Division I baseball player, decided not to play this year. And the job is Brooker's with Wilson Donnelly as the backup, the Greenbrier transfer. And there's a screen. There it is on first down. They go to the freshman, Kid Flash, as he is known, Aaron Gregory. And Nathan, you know a lot about this kid, a 9th grader with already 3 big offers.
Absolutely. He's got offers from Kentucky, Arkansas, and he just recently got Boston College. So, like you said, he's a freshman just getting going here, but he's already on the radar. A lot of sites have him rated as the #1 receiver in the country in his class.
Yeah, the #1 receiver among the freshman receivers. That pass incomplete. Yeah, Kid Flash. And he also has some great bloodlines. He is the nephew of one of the great athletes to ever play in the CSRA, William Avery, the former former Westside Duke and NBA player. And Kid Flash with the big pickup on first down, but that pass outside of his reach. And here's the handoff. Here's Clark. Here's Dallas Carter. Carter down the sidelines. There's a flag down. And I checked that. That's number 6, not number 5. That's Amari Rhines, who's also a sophomore.
I think we're going to get a hold on wide receiver.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Tell you, with Amari Rhines, Dallas Carter, some of these young, Aaron Gregory, a lot of young speed on this Augusta Christian team.
Holding
We
on
are
the
in the first
offense, number
quarter.
2. 10-yard
On
penalty.
the opening game of the 2022 season is the holding call against Augusta Christian. And Busby's heating there with our instant replay. There's a good look. Boy, Amari Rhines with some quickness, and I think the hold might have been on the freshman Gregory there trying to seal the block. So 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Ashley Brown, Nathan Edwards with you in the booth. Matt Lane down on the field.
Offsides, looks like, on the defense.
And the WJBF crew, as always, phenomenal job getting here early in the day to set up and get everything prepared for this
For the
matchup.
snap. Encroachment, number 11 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 15.
So it's a 5-yard penalty on the Lions. Augusta Christian, this drive started at the 10. They're now out at the 25. They need to get to the 40 for the first down, and
Amari Rhines
it was Rhines on the carry.
on the run.
It looked like the cutback lane was going to be there, and it closed up really quickly.
You see a lot of guys playing both ways for this Ridge Spring team. That's something they couldn't do. Last year, they couldn't play Rem Leapart on defense because he was so important to the offense. This year, they have several kids that can play QB, so you will see all of their best players on both sides of the ball if they have to do it tonight. Brooker looking to throw. Slings it out to the big fella. Luke Wilson. They lined Wilson up at a tight end spot. Threw it to the big fella. Don't blame him.
For Luke Wilson.
And they say he did not hold on to it long enough for it to be a catch. To me, it looked like a catch, and the ball was knocked out. But didn't hold it long enough, they say. So
That was one of the ones when I immediately watched it. I was assuming incomplete pass on my side.
you're usually right, and that's one thing Nathan seems to always do is he'll get these calls right. And he was right there as the referees call it incomplete, and Augusta Christian to punt, kind of off the side of the punter's foot, but it's going to take a decent bounce. And it will go out of bounds just inside the 30 at around the 29. So we will take our first time out here with 7:58 to go in the first quarter. The Augusta Christian School Lions and Ridge Spring Monetta scoreless. And we are back at Pride Valley, home of the Augusta Christian School Lions. Beautiful night for football. Not as hot, Nathan, as I was worried it might be a couple of weeks ago. It's a little steamy, but not too bad.
Yeah, we've gotten lucky in the last week or so.
Yeah.
Cooled off a little bit.
Easy for me to say. I'm not down on the field in pads. Augusta Christian's defense, one of the leaders is number 20, Wes Michelson. We'll talk about him a lot tonight, I'm sure. They're trying to throw, and there was Michelson flying in trying to get the QB. He missed him, but he held him up long enough for the reserves to get there. Michelson blew me away last year. He was a new kid to Augusta Christian, and he just was all over the field every time we saw them play, making play after play after play. 92 tackles as a sophomore. Here you see him flying in, number 20, almost getting the quarterback sack. He is a big-time talent. And I think you could argue there's maybe 2 or 3 other guys I would put in this category. He might be the most underrated player in the area. Not a lot of people know about Wes Michelson, even though he had such a big year last year. Zach Blackwell got so much attention, sort of overshadowed Michelson. They've moved him from defensive end to middle linebacker. And there he is, right on cue, making the tackle.
Number 5, Ty Adams on the run.
Yeah, you got to believe he's got a 100 tackle season. It's one of his main goals for sure.
Well, yeah, if he had 92 from his defensive end spot, because, and the thing is, back last year you couldn't run away from him because on the other side is Luke Wilson, and in the middle you had Blackwell and a trio of really good linebackers. They lost. Matter of fact, they graduated. We talk about Ridge Spring losing players. Augusta Christian graduated 7 of their top 9 players in terms of tackles last year. Michelson was really the only player in the top 7 in tackles that they got back. But they did add some players, and matter of fact, the quarterback is in there as a safety, Brooker. And it's going to be, the penalty is going to be on Ridge Spring, a delay of game
Still third
call.
down.
The penalty is 5 yards. Still third down.
Well, and folks, in case you didn't know this, I want to let everybody know, you can mix and match 2 of your breakfast go-tos, like a sausage biscuit, chicken McGriddle, sausage McMuffin, or hash browns for only $2.19. Top it all off with a bold and delicious iced coffee for just $1.69. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Making me hungry, AB.
First McDonald's live read of the year, and we're in mid-season form.
Shot made by number 5, Dallas Carter.
Dallas Carter made the tackle there.
Brings up 4th down for the Trojans.
So 4th down, and neither offense able to get much going so far tonight. And as you might expect, first game of the season, some jitters and some penalties.
Yeah, that was definitely a safe call there. Third and really long, and you don't want to,
Well, a bad snap, and Burdett's going to have to run it, and he is tackled inside the 5. Well, let's see if he got out. No, he's at the 4-yard line.
By number 20, Wes Michelson.
Yeah, it was Wes Michelson. He had nothing he could do. I mean, the snap over his head, by the time he got to it, as you'll see here, there was not much he could do. He picked it up and tried to run with it, and Michelson was right there to grab him. So a big break for the Lions on the bad snap. They get the ball inside the 5, 1st and goal to go. And big Luke Wilson in there as kind of an extra blocker on the left side. Let's see if they utilize him. And Brooker's going to keep it.
face mask.
Grayson Brooker keeps.
Brooker kept it, nowhere to go.
On the play, there's a penalty flag on the play.
Deontay Hopkins made the tackle, but he might have got a face mask in there.
Personal foul, face mask on the
Personal foul,
defense.
face mask.
Half the distance to the
Half
goal.
the distance to the
Still
goal,
first
so
down.
it'll only cost him a couple of yards.
Yeah, we talked about this pregame, AB, before we came on the air about how they don't really have the power back with Blackwell being gone. So this is an area we got to see if they've got somebody who can muscle the ball in here.
And they're not a huge offensive line outside of Wilson, so, yeah, that's something to really watch. And they do hand it off, but nowhere to go there. That's big Liggins, 65. Kanan Liggins, 6'2", 300 pounds. To show you, talking about size, we said they got a big offensive line. They do. They've got a 227, a 301 pound, a 228, and a 291. They don't have a single player over 200 pounds other than those 4, and that's Ridge Spring Monetta. So the Augusta Christian School Lions, we've got a timeout on the field. And got a player down. There you see. It's probably cramps. That's what happens early in the year. That's Shamar Mills, just a freshman. And that's the thing about these small programs. You play these 9th graders. They don't have a JV. Brian Smith said, our freshmen have to be part of the team. Some of them actually play. And when you've only got 28 players dressed out, you're really relying on everybody. It's all hands on deck.
How about a nice hand for Jamar Mills?
This is a team that won 9 games last year. 3 years ago in Brian Smith's first season there, they won 10 games and made a deep run in the playoffs, went all the way to the title game.
Yeah, for those last two plays, I know it's only 2nd down, but there's 2 plays in a row they tried to run the middle and really got nothing. I wonder if we see a fade here to the big wide receiver or maybe to the something to the tight end.
Well, the back they have in there right now is Evan Landrum. He is a sophomore, number 26. I said they only have one big, lineman. They've actually got a couple of big guys, but not as big as you're used to seeing. Oh, there's a big hit. Hit of the game so far. That is number 4. That is Jacrae Taylor. Big hit. I mean, that is your – yeah, and he kept his face mask up. That is a perfect tackle. Maybe get your head to the side. Other than that, that is textbook. So 3rd and goal at the 2. So if Ridge Spring can somehow get a stop, they're going to do a little jet sweep, and they're not going to be able to get the stop because Dallas Carter is in for the touchdown.
One of the easiest touchdown passes you'll ever throw.
Yeah, so they do. They pitch it, but it is a touchdown pass to Dallas Carter, the speedster who runs it in. And the Lions are on the scoreboard first, benefiting from a botched snap on the punt. They had it 1st and goal at the 4, and they finally punch it in. So Wilson Donnelly will come on to tack on the extra point. And they're going to go for 2. Brooker's going to throw it up to Wilson. And incomplete and no penalty flags down. So it will remain 6-0. Augusta Christian strikes first. We will take a timeout here. 4:11 to go in quarter number 1. It's Game Night Live from Pride Valley on the campus of Augusta Christian. The Lions on top, 6-0 over Ridge Spring Monetta. We will return with more action in a moment.
Only one show has all the highlights. Only one show in the CSRA has it all. See why nobody does high school football better than News Channel 6, the most trusted name in local sports. Join Brendan and Colin for Football Friday Night, every Friday at 11:35 on News Channel 6. High school football coverage you can. News Channel 6's Cold Case Project, seeking justice for victims and providing hope to their loved ones. Catch up on previous cases or share your story at WJBF.com/cold case. Cold Case Project, only on News Channel 6. In a world of talk, he listens. The Means Report, a place for honest conversation, getting the answers that impact your life, one question at a time. The Means Report, Mondays at 12:30 on News Channel 6.
And here we are as Augusta Christian kicks it off, and a nice return up to about the 34, maybe the 35. That was Bosket, the quarterback. So let's see if Ridge Spring Monetta can answer Augusta Christian's score. Dallas Carter with the short touchdown catch and run. There's Brian Smith on the right there with the hat and headset. Super nice guy. We are fortunate in this area, man. We got some coaches that love the game, love the kids, love to talk football. Both these guys, Andy Stickle and Brian Smith, fall into that category for sure.
Yeah, they definitely moved the ball a little bit on their first drive, but they're not really the offense you're used to last year. They're not going to have as many big plays. They're going to have to put long drives together, and they can't shoot themselves and get behind the chain.
Yeah, that turnover on the botched snap, that is something you can't have happen. They're going to try to run a little option here, and they do get the running back to the corner. That's the best offensive play we've seen tonight is Ty Adams, 5'10", 148-pound senior.
Number 21, Gavin Hammond. Number 18,
it's a first down. Nice run. Well-designed play there by Ridge Spring. There you see that big offensive line we were talking about.
For the Trojans.
Number 65, the big fella, is Kanan Liggins. He's got multiple scholarship offers, mostly small programs. And he plays on both sides of the ball. For a guy 300 pounds, that cannot be easy. Trust me. I speak from experience. So timeout on the field here. Well, Nathan, I guess, what are your impressions so far from these two? They seem to be filling each other out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we just talked about a little bit, I think Rich Spring was kind of hurting themselves there on a couple of drives and really put their defense in a tough spot there. And they bowed up a little bit, but unfortunately gave up the touchdown. So a little bit of filling each other out, nobody wanting to make the big mistake. Really the punt over the head is what's been the difference.
Yep, for sure. That poor snap leading to the touchdown for the Lions. And Augusta Christian. We were so used last year to, these two teams last year combined averaged 73 points a game. Augusta Christian averaging close to 34, and Rich Spring averaging over 39, which is easy when you have one player score 36. He averaged 3 touchdowns a game. And, of course, Augusta Christian had Zach Blackwell, who's now at Georgia Southern. Blackwell rushed for over 2,000 yards and over 20 touchdowns himself.
Yeah, both these teams were in shootouts pretty much every week.
So Bosket at quarterback, 1st and 10. And a handoff up the middle, and they're going to pick up decent yardage. Ryan Smith would love about 25, 30 plays just like that.
Ja'Cory Taylor on the run is brought down by number 35, A.J. Benz.
Ja'Cory Taylor with the run, and
a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8.
They only give him 2. Now, see, that play seemed like he got about 4. The play earlier where I thought he got 1, they gave him 3. His knee may have hit early, though. They are at midfield. This will be the first time they've taken the ball on the Augusta Christian side of the field. They can gain some yardage here on 2nd down. And handoff and some room for their back. And a nice run. That is Ty Adams again.
Ty Adams has definitely had a burst on a couple of plays he's been in there.
Yeah. Super quick. Not big, at only 148 pounds, but elusive.
44-yard line.
He picked up 6, so it'll be 3rd down and about 1.5.
2 yards to go. It's 3rd.
It is going to be 2 yards, so 3rd and 2.
This may be 4-down territory.
And, nice play in the backfield. Adams, though, fighting, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think it was 45 who got there first, Elton Wilson. Sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, so you just got stuffed on that play, but I would expect him to go for it here because the first 2 punts, one of them came close to being blocked and the other one was over his head. So
yeah, and where you're at on the field also, how many chances are you going to get? You're worried about your offense anyway. So let's see what they do here on 4th down, and they're going to say 4th and about 4.
It's 4th down.
Last year, this would have been a rollout for Rem Leapart and let him make a play. This year, there might have been a false start.
Like a false start wasn't called.
They pitch it, and not a lot of running room for Adams. And he is brought down. Dallas Carter there, number 5, also number 33. Carson Smith.
Number 33, Carson Smith.
And it looks like an Augusta Christian player. Carson Smith may be a little banged up on the play. So the Lions get the stop. They bent, but they did not break.
Spotted at the Augusta Christian 45-yard line.
Yeah, a little surprised they didn't put the ball in the quarterback's hands there.
Well, they just, they don't have that playmaker like they had with Leapart. Now the Lions offense comes back out. Good field position at their own 45. Brooker. And with Ryan's in the backfield. Actually, check that. That's a different back. That is number 1, John Smith. Now, I had heard about him during the offseason. Somebody said they got a little scat back that could really run. And so John Smith, his first carry is a nice one. You're right. They don't have that big bruiser like they have with Blackwell. But they got some guys with some speed and elusiveness for sure.
Yeah, 30-yard run there.
And that's an Affordable Auto Assurance first down for the Lions. As we are closing in on the end of the first quarter, minute 42 and counting. Grayson Brooker going to hand off again to Smith. This time he is slammed down. Ball's loose. Rich Spring Monetta's got it. The ball comes loose. Number 8, Jay Cannon, and number 65, Kanan Liggins.
Got a flag also.
Make the hit, and there is a flag down. This could be a huge play for Ridge Spring Monetta if, in fact, they're able to keep the ball. Number 11, Cam Samuels recovered the fumble. John Smith got hit right as he got the football. See what the call is.
An inverted face mask on the defense.
It's a face mask.
5 yards penalty from the spot. Repeat first down.
The third face mask we've seen tonight. 2 on Ridge Spring, 1 on Augusta Christian. And that's a costly one for Ridge Spring because they were about to get the football back. It stopped what was looking like a really impressive drive from Augusta Christian. So Ridge Spring, another key mistake. As Brooker looks to throw, he's in trouble, and he's going to be brought down.
Brooker is sacked by number 11, Cam Samuels, and number 16, Deontay Hopkins.
Yeah, Gregory looked like he left a little early there. Matt was pointing out to us, and he definitely had him open on the post, but didn't have time to throw that, but definitely left early.
Yeah, Gregory, the outstanding freshman receiver we've been talking about, it looks like he's limping a little bit. Kid Flash, as he is called.
Line, second down.
Number 16, Deontay Hopkins, made the play defensively. There you see him right to the right side of your screen. He is the top returning defensive player for Ridge Spring. And there on the far right side, bottom of your screen, that's number 2, Aaron Gregory, the highly touted young receiver. And Brooker is going to throw it to him. And he makes the catch, but it's thrown to where he had to go down on the ground to get the ball. And going to be a completion, but they lose some yardage. While we got a moment, let's go down on the field for the first time in 2022 and check in with our buddy Matt Lane with a sideline report. Matt?
Thanks, Ashley. That's right. Here on the field, as you're kind of seeing both offenses trying to figure out who they're going to be. It's one thing to do it in practice, but once you go against another team that's not seeing the same plays, that's kind of where you see players emerge in a lot of game-breaking plays, as you saw earlier with the 30-yard run. But both defenses right now sort of figuring out the offenses, and it's going to take something big to happen for both to find out what their offense is going to look like this year.
We come back from that Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Thanks, Matt. Grayson Brooker with a big run inside the 15. So Brooker kept it himself and able to pick up some nice yardage.
The ball is spotted at the Ridge Spring Monetta 12-yard line.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Jeb Bradford, a lefty sophomore quarterback, threw 18 touchdowns and 3 picks. Last year, he threw a bunch of picks early. They replaced him with Brooker, and now it's Brooker's job. That's the end of the first quarter. And we will take a timeout here. The Augusta Christian Lions moving down the field, and they already lead it 6-0 over Ridge Spring here on Game Night Live. We are back at Pride Valley, WJBF Game Night Live. Grayson Brooker, little pitch ahead. It's incomplete. Trying to get to Anderson there. And while we got a moment here, let's take a look at Culpeper Ace Hardware in Evans. QBs by the quarter, Nathan.
Yeah, James Boskett for Ridge Spring Monetta was 1 of 1 passing for 9 yards in the first quarter. And Grayson Brooker for Augusta Christian was 3 of 3 for 19 yards and 2 attempts for 11 yards rushing.
Yeah, had a nice little run. And here is Smith, who is going to be brought down by number 4, Ja'Cory Taylor. Taylor, a junior, 5'9", 181 pounds. Smith checks out. Dallas Carter, Wes Michelson come in.
3rd down and 8 for the Lions.
Interesting look in the backfield with Michelson back there. Carter's in motion. They got some playmakers in there with Michelson, Carter, and Aaron Gregory. A timeout by Augusta Christian here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's more in there because he's the good pass blocking running back. They can count on him to pick up a blitz.
Or maybe he gives them a little bit of that big inside running that we wondered what they would do without Blackwell. Another big kid on this Lions team, we mentioned that they were not as big up front as Ridge Spring besides Luke Wilson. They actually have one more big kid, a kid named Evan Scott, and he's only a sophomore, number 73. There you see Lines up at left tackle. That's a big old sophomore right there. So Grayson Brooker trying to get his Lions into the end zone for a second time tonight. They scored earlier on the little shuttle pass. He's going to throw this one. It is complete to Anderson. It's going to be an easy touchdown. Rod Anderson. And by the way, while we're talking about kids and ages, Rod Anderson is an 8th grader. He doesn't look like an 8th grader. He could end up being another Brock Bowers.
Yeah, that's definitely something you see a little bit here at Augusta Christian.
Schools, yeah.
Aaron Gregory got in on a few kick returns last year early as a 8th grader as well.
Yeah, an 8th grader. I had to do a double take. They've actually got a couple 8th graders, three of them. Let's see, 3 or 4 on the roster. 3. So Wilson Donnelly comes on to try and tack on the extra point as the Lions lead it 12-0, and the kick is going to get through. So it is 13-0 Lions. And we will take a timeout here. The Lions lead it with 11:11 to go in the second quarter. 13-0 over Rich Spring Monetta. We will be back with more WJBF Sports Game Night Live from Pride Valley on the campus of Augusta Christian after this. Are back at Pride Valley, campus of Augusta Christian. Ashley Brown, Nathan Edwards, Matt Lane, and the entire WJBF crew for Game Night Live with the Lions on top 13-0. Rich Spring not able to do much on offense so far tonight. And let's see what they can do with this kick return, because Bosket, the quarterback's got it. There's a flag down. He made a nice return, but there's a flag down, and a Rich Spring Monetta player is down.
Yeah, didn't see exactly what happened, but the flag is right near where Ridge Spring Monetta player is holding his lower leg.
Well, Ridge Spring may get something tacked onto the end of this run here. Again, both these teams were playoff participants and made deep runs in the playoff last year, finishing 9-3. We had Augusta Christian on Game Night Live when they knocked off Richmond Academy. That was a huge win for the Lions and for their confidence. The player shaking up. Looks like he's all right.
Got a block in the back on the receiving team. And illegal participation on the kicking team. Those penalties will offset. We'll re-kick.
Of the weekend of the week, because tomorrow night you and I will be between the bricks, Thompson, Georgia, for one of the best games in the state, Thompson and Burke County.
That's usually one of the ones we circle and we wait for all year long, and we're getting it opening week this year.
And those are the two teams I think are the best two teams in the area. I've got Thompson 1, Burke County 2, and Washington County 3. And I think there's a big drop-off after those 3, so I'm looking forward to that one tomorrow night between Thompson and Burke County, and we'll talk about that a little more later in the game. But should be a great, great matchup. Michael Youngblood, the former Burke County star, by the way, who now coaches at Thompson, and Eric Parker, who has taken his teams to the playoffs 23 consecutive seasons. That's between Laney and Burke County. Well, there's Wilson Donnelly. He is a transfer from Greenbrier, and he handles the kicking duties. And this one's a low liner. Fielded on a bounce and on a nice head of run there by Adams.
Ball came out there at the end.
Ball came out after he hit the ground, and it'll be Ridge Spring Monetta football. Ridge Spring has it. 1st and 10, and they would love nothing more than to get a nice long drive here. Not really worried necessarily about the clock, more worried about just getting maybe some points on the board and keeping the ball away from Augusta Christian.
Yeah, I don't think they have the offense where they can get too far behind.
No, not this year. Not without Rem Leapart, who was the starter for really almost 4 seasons, 3.5 seasons. So Bosket, he is going to try to roll out and throw.
Nope.
Oh, and it's short and incomplete. That was very dangerous. Sean Tapper, the sophomore linebacker, was the closest man to the ball.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a pick 6 there.
Tapper wearing the number 3 that over the last 3 seasons was worn by Zach Blackwell, one of the most prolific running backs and really also linebackers in CSRA history in terms of total numbers. An amazing high school career, and he's now in Statesboro playing at Georgia Southern, but Tapper's wearing the number 3 now. And they hand it off. This is Hopkins. Hopkins with a nice run. He's going to pick up a first down and still on his feet. So Gregory made the tackle.
Number 2, Aaron Gregory on the stop for the Lions.
Realized at the end, this guy's just holding me up. He's not trying to tackle me. Let me get some more.
Yeah, it almost looked like he stopped and then went, oh, wait, he's not going to bring me to the ground. That's a look at Hopkins. He looked great running the ball there. He is their top defensive player returning from a year ago.
I wonder if that's almost from practice with the thudding during camp.
Yeah, true. So they snap it, and here's another rollout from Bosket trying to throw. And, again, that one is really short.
Basket's pass intended for Ty Adams is incomplete.
You had both Michelson and Tapper out there in the coverage in the flats. There's Adams, who was a little frustrated that the ball was not closer. Coach Smith did say he had 2 or 3 kids that could play quarterback. Bosket has looked okay running the ball, but struggled so far throwing the football. And here goes Hopkins again with another good run. Oh, a big collision. Michelson and Hopkins collision right at the first down marker. Aaron Gregory in there as well. Hopkins was coming off the field, and Brian Smith said, no, go back.
First down for the Trojans.
Yeah, Michelson's not coming there just to tackle you.
No. He is there to deliver some pain. Like I said last year, I knew about a lot of guys on this team. Didn't know much about him. He was a new kid in the school. But, man, was he impressive. He was all over the field. And I think we picked him, if I'm not mistaken. He was our defensive player of the game in that Richmond game. They're going to go with Hopkins again, that same play. Why not? It's worked 3 times in a row now.
Stop made by number 22, Anthony Fluke.
So Fluke makes the tackle, but not before Hopkins picks up more good yardage.
Gain of 8. Second down and 2.
Yeah, they found a little bit here running that play to the left side. We'll see if Augusta Christian can make some kind of adjustment here and get a stop to that.
Well, Hopkins a little bit bigger back as well. He's 6 foot, about 175 pounds. You got Adams at 148, and they got some smaller guys in there, but Hopkins gives them a little bit bigger back.
Of course, it's the old adage, if they're not going to stop it, just keep running it.
Yeah. And they hand it off this time up the middle. Follow Hopkins, and he laid a good block. And he sprung the ball carrier. That was Taylor for a nice run. Again, they ran right behind Hopkins, and Hopkins is giving the offense a lift both with running and blocking. Easily the best possession of the night for Ridge Spring Monetta, as they have marched all the way down, nearing the red zone at about the 22-yard line. And Bosket, another handoff, same play. And Taylor picks up a few yards before Michelson gets him. At this pace, Michelson's going to have about 25 tackles tonight.
Stop made by number 20, Wes Michelson.
Well, they are in the red zone now.
Second down and 5.
Very impressive drive running the football when they really had not done much on their previous possessions. Hopkins has given them a lift. They've run it behind him twice. Let's see if they give it to him this time. Bosket, and they are going to give it to him. And finds a hole. Nice run. Hopkins
on the run.
very patient a little bit of Le'Veon Bell back in the day, waiting on a spot to move, and he found it, hit the hole, and picks up nice yardage. So the ball is at the 9-yard line, so it is 1st and goal to go.
Yeah, this big offensive line is really starting to open up some holes, wear them down a little bit. I guess you're hoping that Rich Spring Monetta, this later and later we get in this game, these runs are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I was wondering if Augusta Christian would wear them down just because they have so few numbers. As a little screen pass loses a few. But you know what? These Rich Spring Monetta kids are used to playing the whole game. You know? Isn't anything new for them.
Yeah, Augusta Christian has the numbers, but they don't really play that many kids. They're playing a lot of people both ways, too.
2nd and goal from the 12.
2nd and goal now. They lost 3 on that play. They go to Hopkins, and he is met, and they're going to lose yardage on that play as well. That was A.J. Benz.
Stop made by number 35, A.J. Benz for the Lions.
And he looks like he might be shaking up on the play.
Yeah, so now you're 3rd and goal from the 15. I think you got to look at it as 2 plays because I don't know they have a kicking game.
Well, and also, how much does the field goal really help you? Anyway, you know, the way this game's gone so far, you know, how many chances will you have deep in Augusta Christian territory? Bosket looking to the sidelines. They don't have Hopkins in there right now. They're going to call timeout.
Timeout, Rich Spring Monetta.
They feel like this is in too important a spot not to everybody be on the same page. So they're going to call timeout. Augusta Christian up 13-0 here in the early going. And throughout the year, folks, one thing we are going to do is keep you updated with scores from around the area. Obviously, tonight we can't because we're the only game in town, but for the remainder of the season, we will keep you updated with scores from around the CSRA. Nathan Edwards always doing a good job keeping us updated with scores and pulling a little double duty this weekend with handling the analyst duties and some stats. And so,
yeah, Waynesboro, Chrysler job, Dodge, Jeep, Ram scoreboard.
Right. And we got some good matchups too around the area for week 1. Big play here, 3rd down and goal from the 15.
Goal to go. Goal to go from the 15. 3rd down.
Let's see what Boskin and company do. Lions come with the blitz. They hand it off, and here it goes. Oh, and he tried to get to the outside, and by doing that, I think he might have lost some yardage, and that was Taylor.
Ja'Cory Taylor on the carry.
He did get back to almost back to the original line of scrimmage. He's just short at the 10.
By number 22, Anthony Fluke, and number 23, Luke Wilson.
Yeah, you don't want to make too much of one play here. We're in the 2nd quarter still with 6:24, but you got a feeling if they can't find a way to score here,
yeah,
it's going to get much more difficult.
Goal to go.
Well, it's 4th down and 10.
From the 10.
Or 4th and goal from the 10. So it's a touchdown or Augusta Christian gets the ball back. There goes Bosco. Let's see if they throw it. And they are going to roll him out. He throws. This is a decent pass. It's caught. Let's see what the call is.
They're going to say he's down at the 1?
They're going to call him down at the 1. It's Augusta Christian's ball.
Wow.
Bosquet's pass is complete.
Easily the best pass Bosket has thrown tonight.
On the goal line.
But they call him short of the goal line at the, he's got to be at the half-yard line. Augusta Christian is going to get this ball. Had some zip on it from Bosket.
Augusta Christian will take over 1st and 10.
Oh, that looked like it might have been a touchdown.
Yeah,
that was close.
That's close to not having the shot right down the line.
I was going to say, the official has a better angle than we do. But it looked like the receiver might have got the ball over the plane there. Either way, it is Augusta Christian football, but they have to go as far as you can possibly go to score. The tip of the football is almost touching the goal line.
And they've struggled in short yardage areas, so, I mean, Rich Spring and Monetta, you got to be thinking safety here.
Yeah, bring everybody here if you're Rich Spring, try to take a chance and get the ball back. And that one's blown dead.
A lot of the best quarterbacks love to throw in this situation, though.
Oh, yeah.
Dead ball. Legal substitution on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
So legal substitution on Augusta Christian.
Give them a 1-inch penalty.
Yeah, this is half the distance to the goal. I mean, I don't know how you move it any closer to the goal line.
Still first down.
So here's Brooker in a shotgun. I believe that's Carter back there with him.
There's a penalty flag prior to the snap.
So they just bailed them out.
Yeah, that's one you can't make there.
Dead ball encroachment on the defense.
Yeah,
5-yard
you just
penalty,
give them
still
one
first
there,
down.
and those are the mistakes that Coach Smith talked about.
First down and 5 yards to go.
But that's one of those plays where you just give them Augusta Christian 5 yards, and in that spot, such a big penalty. Let's see what they do. 1st and 5 now. Brooker hands it off. And a good play made.
Quarterback Wilson Donnelly on the run.
That's number 8.
By number 5, Ty Adams.
It was Dallas Carter and number 8 with the tackle, Jay Cannon.
Down, AC.
Yeah, I got a different quarterback.
Yeah, Donnelly now in the game. So Donnelly comes in and picks up a nice play for first down. That's Wilson Donnelly in the game. And there's a nice throw to Wilson. So Wilson Donnelly giving him a little lift here off the bench.
Well, the coach is definitely showing confidence in him. They're putting him in there when they were on the 1-yard line.
Well, he was a kid that was the JV quarterback at Greenbrier. They felt like he might be the heir apparent to Brooks Pangle.
2nd and 1.
He's also a really good baseball player, and Augusta Christian, I'm sure, happy that he is here. And right now he's come in with 2 nice plays, a good run and a pretty good throw with some zip on it to Luke Wilson. And we've got a timeout now.
Timeout, Augusta Christian.
So Augusta Christian calls timeout. Well, don't go anywhere, folks, as we are 4 minutes and 52 seconds away from halftime. The Eicholtz Law Firm halftime show. Matt Lane with all sorts of good info for you and different packages. And we'll talk to the folks from McDonald's. And the punters of the game will be announced. We got a lot for you there. And, of course, we'll get you caught up with everything that happened in the first half. Stats and info, that's all coming up during the Eicholtz Law Firm halftime show. So Wilson Donnelly and Dallas Carter in the backfield. It's 2nd down and 2, if that, maybe about 1.5 yards.
2nd down and 1 for the Lions.
So Donnelly. And he's going to throw it quickly to Gregory. Gregory made one man miss, spins away, now still on his feet. Gregory, look at this. Unable to get away completely scot-free, but
Donnelly's pass is complete to number 2, Aaron Gregory.
he is going to be able to pick up a first down, though.
Jarvis Bush and number 11, Cam Samuels.
You see what a lot of the scouts see, the elusiveness of Aaron Gregory, or Kid Flash as they call him. He has been offered already by Kentucky, Arkansas, and Boston College. And a lot of other big programs knocking on the door. Again, he's only a 9th grader. His first varsity game as an official high schooler is tonight.
Yeah, and he has 4.4 speed, so they're all worried about getting beat deep. So they're giving him a 10-yard
snap, false start, number 55 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, both teams a little bit sloppy here
5-yard penalty.
is,
First
again,
down
it's
and 15
game
for
one.
the
You
Lions.
expect some penalties, more so than you would deeper into the season, of course. But if you're a coach, you don't like him at any point. They got Wilson in there as an extra blocker. And they're going to hand it off, and to the corners, Dallas Carter with some speed. Carter is going to be drugged down from behind and still battled his way across the 40. Yeah, there you see that speed from Dallas Carter.
Ball is spotted at the Augusta Christian 40, where it is a first down, AC.
Ryans was impressive in the first quarter, but the guy that I thought, based on last year, that we would see a lot running the football was Dallas Carter. And that has been the case the last possession here. Carter's been back there with Donnelly on every play. They're going to throw it here. Pass is complete. And up near midfield, just shy of midfield, is number 10. That's
Number 5, Ty
Evan
Adams
Harrell.
on the stop for the Trojans. A gain of 7.
So it'll be, and there you go, our T-Mobile student section.
Third down, second down.
Augusta
and 2.
Christian. I saw the kids with the leis and the Hawaiian shirts as I was coming in. Love the themed nights they do. And here's Luke Wilson, another nice pass, and Wilson able to keep his feet across the 45 to about the 42. So Wilson Donnelly is giving this offense a lift.
Number 3, Typeen Martin on the stop for the Trojans.
And there's Donnelly a little bit pumped up, number 8. And we've got a player down for Rich Spring Monetta. Player shaking up. And it looks again like a cramp. Early season, that is what we're going to see a lot of.
Yeah, Rich Spring's got to be very careful here. They could easily, quickly be down 4 touchdowns because right here at the end of the half, and then Augusta Christian's going to get the ball to start the second half. So really be down 4 touchdowns quickly.
Yeah, no doubt this is a really important possession here to try and stop them from scoring. The Lions benefited from a botched snap on a punt and got the ball first and goal at the 4 for their first touchdown. A Dallas Carter short run. And then it was a touchdown pass. We knew they would throw to a young receiver. We thought it would be the 9th grader Gregory, but they actually threw to an 8th grader, Rod Anderson, who caught the touchdown pass for the second score. Yeah, but it's still a ball game, 13-0 with 3:37 to go in this half. Rich Spring Monetta, Coach Smith, he was worried. He knew he had seen this Augusta Christian team play. He said that they had a lot of talent. He was concerned coming into this game with his kids, not just the amount of kids, but the fact that he had to replace so much from his offense. And if you haven't had one of those, folks, you haven't lived. There is no pain like that pain.
Oh, that one in the middle of the night, and you jump up.
And there's just nothing you can do about it. I mean,
You got to walk through it.
Yep. Stretch and walk, and then get you some pickle juice, right? Yeah, they're working out Matt's leg right now. We'll hopefully get another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report if he can go.
Yeah, they might send Matt in to get an IV at halftime. Make sure he's hydrated for the second half.
Now, he gargles pickle juice. He's pretty good. I don't know where the pickle juice came from a few years back. Georgia was kind of one of the lead teams on that.
Because we can't drink a certain sports drink. It's named after a certain team.
Yeah. And here we go, ready for action here. 1st and 10 at the 42. Lions with the ball. They have moved from the 1-yard line. And another complete pass by Donnelly. And Evan Harley with the catch. That's his second.
Number 10, Lawson Gainey on the stop for the Trojans.
So Harley with his second catch on this drive. And again, Wilson Donnelly has come in and moved this football team.
Yeah, he's 5 for 5 on the drive for 38 yards.
And he had a nice run for a first down earlier as well.
2nd down and 2.
And they picked up 8 there, 2nd and 2. And he's going to fake the handoff and roll out, throws it. Oh, and he's got Wilson wide open. Wilson to the 20, the 15, and he is knocked down at about the 15-yard line. Boy, that was a well-designed play. Watch this as they fake the handoff, and then Wilson just lobs it up perfectly. If that's a normal receiver, it might have been overthrown, but Wilson stands 6'9", and you see he's got some pretty good hands from his basketball play.
Some of the benefit you're going to get from Gregory also. He got double teamed there, and it completely cleared out the right side.
Yeah, run Gregory down and open things up for Wilson in the flats. 1st and 10 for Augusta Christian. And he's going to roll out the opposite way. Donnelly, another throw to Wilson. Wilson has become a big-time offensive target. We're talking about this kid playing defensive end in college. He might be a tight end.
And number 5, Ty Adams.
So Luke Wilson.
8 yards. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, his 4th catch of the night.
He was a part of Augusta Christian's state championship basketball team a year ago. And they got another, even though they lost their best player who transferred, Elijah Crawford, they've got a great team coming back.
Timeout, Rich Spring Monetta.
Yep. So Rich Spring will call timeout. Just a minute 44 to go before halftime. And the Lions are knocking on the door looking for their 3rd score of the game. And Wilson Donnelly, you know, Brooker's got 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, we're getting
one of them a shuttle pass, but Brooker has looked great since coming in this game. Or Donnelly, excuse me. You saw Matt Lane trying to.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to get a call this next play. He's down there in the huddle.
Just because you played here, Matt, doesn't mean you get to get in the huddle with him. Brian Smith and his staff trying to talk his team up. That defense needs a stop here, but Augusta Christian has looked really good. This has been their best drive. It started back at the 1-yard line. This would be a 99-yard drive, and you talk about demoralizing. You let a team go 99 yards to go down 3 scores, and then you got to kick it off to them. And after this play, let's go down to Matt. He's got something. First, though, it's 2nd and 2. Ball is at the just shy of the 10-yard line. Wilson Donnelly with Ryans with him in the backfield. Hand off to Ryans. Ryans is going to be hit at about the 5 or 6. Let's go down on the field and Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Here's Matt Lane.
Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, right there in the huddle with the Lions. The coach, a pretty just level tone with the team, just kind of talking about what they wanted to do down here to make sure that they got in that end zone, but not really any shouting, not really any, hey, what's this play mean? Just very organized, very calm. One of the more surprising things I've seen on a football field, a lot of time, high energy things in those huddles.
Here goes Donnelly rolling out. Going to throw it back across his body, and it's picked off. Ill-advised throw across his body, and it is picked off. Gregory comes back to make the tackle. But that is a huge play for the Ridge Spring defense. And again, the turnovers is what cost Bradford his starting job last year. Donnelly looked so good on this drive, but this one, an ill-advised pass thrown across his body, couldn't put enough on it to get it up to Wilson. And instead, it is picked off by Ridge Spring. That was number 11, Cam Samuels.
Yeah, nice 33-yard return after the pick also.
That was a monster play for Ridge Spring. Again, it would have been so demoralizing going to the locker room down 3 scores, giving up a 99-yard drive. Instead, they get the football back, decent field position, courtesy of the pick and run by Cam Samuels. And here's Coach Stickle. Bosket, he's going to throw. He's going to throw deep.
Uh-oh.
He lobs it up, and it's going to be picked off.
That could be a pick 6.
This could be all, 6-point. Dallas Carter running down the sidelines, looking for blockers. Dallas Carter into the end zone, touchdown. Wow. Wow. I get it. If you're Brian Smith, he's so used to being an offensive guy, putting points on the board, no huddle. They get the ball. They're looking for a big play to kind of turn things around. Instead, the ball got way too much air under it. Dallas Carter picks it off and runs it back. Great blocking downfield, by the way, from his team. And Carter with a pick 6. So the Lions have benefited from the botch snap on the punt and now the interception. So they are going to be up 3 scores unless Ridge Spring can do something crazy in the final 55 seconds.
Yeah, Augusta Christian was driving there to score a touchdown. I don't think that's the way we thought they were going to score, though.
Yeah, and I also, if you're Ridge Spring, like I said, I understand what Coach Smith was trying to do. It's easy for us to sit here and say, you got the ball, you stop the drive, why do that? But look, he's wanting to put some points on the board. The kick is good. So Donnelly boots it through, and Augusta Christian now leads it 20-0 over Ridge Spring Monetta.
Yeah, you definitely got to try something there. I mean, you've got to score some points to win this game. So, you just had a big play. They're going to get the kick. So, you got to try and make something happen.
Well, let's keep in mind something about this this Ridge Spring Monetta team. They're struggling right now, no doubt. But 2 years ago, they lost in the regular season to Wagner Sally 40-6, their arch rival. They came back in the playoffs and beat Wagner Sally. So Brian Smith will be coaching this team up all year. Don't doubt that. Still have to go in this one, but it is not looking good for Monetta as they are down by 3 scores, 20-0.
Well, it doesn't get any easier. You got Saluda next week.
Yeah, and Saluda, they got a couple of big-time players. Montrevious Adams, an outstanding running back, or Montrevious Hunter, excuse me. So Donnelly will kick it off. Nobody is happier on the Augusta Christian team right now than Donnelly. He throws the interception, and his teammate Dallas Carter gets the pick 6. So it doesn't hurt him. Donnelly will kick it off. And a low line drive kick, fielded on a bounce. And here goes, that is Taylor. Now you need points more than you did before, but do you take a chance here with 48 seconds left? And Taylor gets up limping a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much you can do here. With the offense that they've been running, mostly ground and pound control.
The best offense they've had is running Hopkins and then following Hopkins. But I don't think he's in the game at the moment.
Might be one of those. Let's get to the locker room and regroup.
Yeah, Bosket is in there. He's got Adams and Taylor and so one of the Augusta Christian players has to get out of the game for a play. I believe, it's 33, Carson Smith. Something to do with his uniform or piece of equipment. If you're just joining us, Augusta Christian really struggled a little bit offensively, but they benefited from that botch snap on the punt to go up 6-0. They tried for 2 and didn't get it. But since then, they have looked very good on both sides of the ball. And Augusta Christian came on a blitz, didn't get it. A little option pitch. And it's going to be Taylor around the corner.
Definitely tell Michelson's the leader of that defense before the play, moving players around, trying to get them in the right position.
Yeah. He's a player, man. He's one of those guys that you give me 11 of him, I'll go to battle. That's last year, it seemed like he was around the football the entire game. I know that Coach Lyle Burns and the Musketeers from Richmond Academy had to hate going up against him because he just gave them fits last year. And there's a good play. And imagine who that was. Wes Michelson again. Now that is going to do it for the first half on the play by Michelson. And that is the end of one half of play. Augusta Christian leads it by a score of 20-0. All Lions in the first half. Nathan, any quick thoughts on this half?
No, it was a lot of Rich Spring Monetta kind of making mistakes and hurting themselves. Augusta Christian taking advantage of it.
And we are going to go down on the field to Matt Lane. Matt, what do you got? Are we going to break here? Oh, my apologies to Matt. We are going to take a break here. When we come back, though, it'll be a lot of Matt Lane because he will be hosting the Eicholtz Law Firm halftime show from Augusta Christian. It's 20-0 Lions, all over Ridge Spring Monetta. We'll be back with the halftime show after this.
And welcome here on the field for our Eicholtz Law Firm halftime show here at Augusta Christian, where they are leading going into halftime. We wanted to take a second to highlight Augusta Christian here while we walked around the school and caught up with some folks. Check it out now.
Augusta Christian Schools has been around since 1958. Since then, they've partnered with families to help guide students through their academic careers.
Our mission statement here at Augusta Christian is to prepare students to serve Jesus Christ as Lord, partnering with family and church, instilling high standards spiritually, academically, socially, and physically.
Augusta Christian Schools tries to differentiate itself from other private schools by bringing in exciting new programs.
You want to always look at what's going on in the world, in business, in the colleges today, and you want to make sure that you're preparing these students with what they will need to be successful as they move forward.
We stopped by the school to see some of their programs. The first was in their healthcare science lab.
We have Intro to Healthcare, Essentials of Healthcare, which is like an anatomy class. We have sports medicine, and we also have the Patient Care Fundamentals, which is a CNA class. So when students go through the whole program and they finish the CNA class, they are certified nursing assistants.
Another special program the school offers is sign language. The state of Georgia now recognizes American Sign Language as a foreign language credit.
It's incredibly important because deaf people often are not communicated with both for the gospel and for academia and for work. And so for the students to just know the language and know the culture, now deaf have an opportunity to be accommodated and to really get involved in their community.
The school's Christian JROTC program has been around for a few years and is still growing.
As a growing program, we're trying to inspire kids to be leaders, not only among their peers, but in the community as well. We teach military history, focus on civics, leadership, and do labs with the students that'll help build those skills and traits so that we can build the future leaders of tomorrow.
With all of the exciting programs, it's clear Augusta Christian Schools cares about the students and their future.
We want them to have been successfully in their academics so that if they want to go to the college of their choice, they'll be able to go to whatever college they want. If they want to join the military, if they want to go into a trade, whatever they want to do, we just want to make sure that they are prepared to do that.
Brandon Dawson, WJBF News Channel 6.
And welcome back here on the field for our Eicholtz Law Firm halftime show. I'm now joined by Charles Cooper, Athletic Director here at Augusta Christian Schools. And Coach Cooper, that's how I guess you're not a coach anymore. You're Athletic Director. I'm just, old habits die hard. But so the start of the school year, football's back. You got volleyball going on. Can you just kind of highlight and talk about some of the fun stuff going on here at AC?
Got a lot of sports going on here at Augusta Christian. Volleyball team won their first match today. We're cranking up with girls tennis next week, cross country. Of course, we will come out on, this Thursday night, but Friday night football is where it's at. It's kind of the centerpiece. It's a great time to be a part of 313 Baston Road.
Now, what sport is your favorite?
I would have to say watching football is my favorite. I'm a basketball guy, but I love them all. I love competition. I love to see our kids compete because that's what it's all about.
So in terms of the kids that you've seen come out for all the different sports so far, is it, what's this crop looking like? Do you have any jokesters, any pranksters? You got the same old stuff going on? You got some, because you always bring the fun. I've always told you that, and that's always been the case.
Well, none of them compare to you and your joking that you used to have on the football field. But really, it's a great group of kids, a dedicated group of kids. The weight room has been really impressive, not just for our boys, but for our girls. We've really pushed our girls' basketball team into the weight room this summer, and they've really seen the dividends pay off.
I want to thank Charles Cooper, Athletic Director here at AC, for joining me today. Real quick before I let you go, it was something I wanted to ask you about, and we talked about it earlier. As a former Student of the Year here at Augusta Christian and multi-year letterman, me having to park on the other side of the parking lot, What's that about, man?
Well, you don't run like you used to, Matt. I mean, back in the day, number 99 used to be blazing down the field, but looking like you're putting on a few pounds there, you needed the steps.
That information is so hard to take. We're going to actually have to go to break after this, but we'll be back right after this. How could you? And welcome back on the field for our Eichholz Law Firm halftime show. I'm now joined by Terrence Vandiver, chairman of the Board of Trustees, if I'm not mistaken. And Terrence, a wonderful night for football. The weather's terrific. Everybody's out here. The music's going. What's your favorite part about Friday nights in football?
Man, I love Friday night football. Of course, I was a local athlete back in the day at Evans High School. My children have all attended Augusta Christian schools. My son played on this field. I've coached on this field. The atmosphere, the Friday night lights, I know it's Thursday night, but the lights, the crowd, the weather, it's just a great place to be on a Friday night.
Yeah, terrifically located, plenty of shade over here, just a wonderful little spot. Being affiliated with the school, can you just kind of talk about some of the bright spots and seeing the kids each and every day, not only at events like this, but just kind of throughout the week?
Sure. You know, Augusta Christian is in a great place right now. We're experiencing tremendous momentum. You know, our new frontal piece there, our new building up front, a kind of a central point of entry and focus. It's really given us a new feel, a new vibe. The momentum is evident in the hallways. You know, I think we're very attractive right now. You know, families choose Augusta Christian for a lot of reasons. You know, the atmosphere is great. The academics are fantastic. We have athletics, obviously, as we're here tonight, and we thank you guys for being here. And then, of course, the arts. And so we're covering all the gamut.
So in terms of, you know, you haven't always held your position that you hold now. What was it for you that made you want to take part in this?
Well, right before we came on, you were talking about Coach Keith Walton. He and I go back to 7th grade, Langford Middle School in Augusta, Georgia. And so when we were looking to transition our son over, he was going to a school that didn't have a football team. And so we came over, I looked at different schools, and then I found my friend. And that just kind of made it really easy for us. Of course, the academics were key. But, you know, I think him having a place and a familiar face to really get him acclimated to this environment was really helpful.
Now, for certain folks that might be, you know, scared to come to a football game over here, or not really sure, but they are interested in checking out Augusta Christian and just kind of taking a look around, what's the best way for somebody to do that?
Absolutely. I think the first step would be to get in touch with our admissions office. You know, you can schedule a tour. You can schedule an opportunity to come take a peek, see what we're about. You can come to certain events. Kids get to shadow in the hallways with other students. We're open, and we want to invite you to come and take a look at Augusta Christian. It's a fantastic environment, a wonderful community of people, and we do the best that we can to build kingdom leaders right here in Augusta, Georgia.
Well, I want to thank Terrence for joining me down here on the field. Again, Terrence Vandiver, chairman of the Board of Trustees. Really appreciate you coming out. Want to handle some business really quick while we have a moment and talk about our Augusta Sports Council Punters of the Game. So today for Rich Spring Monetta, we have number 12. This is for the away team, Rich Spring Monetta. Number 12, Alex Burnett. He's number 12 in the program, but number 1 in your hearts. I was told to say that by one of our nice sales folks. His nickname is Sunshine. So that's a tough look when you got people throwing your name around like that. But congratulations for being the punter of the game for Rich Spring Monetta. For Augusta Christian, it's going to be number 8, Wilson Donnelly. Those are our Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award punters of the game. What we're going to do is take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to be joined by Brennan Robertson, sports director at WJBF Sports. He'll join us right after this. We go 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, we had a tuck and roll here on the field. Welcome back to the Eichholz Law Firm halftime show here at Augusta Christian. I'm joined by my old friend and former boss here, Brennan Robertson from WJBF Sports. You know, for old time's sake.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about tomorrow night's game you'll be covering?
Yeah, so tonight we're here at Augusta Christian, but tomorrow's a pretty big one, actually one of the biggest games of the year, each and every year, Burke County Thompson.
Yeah, and this year it's changed up, you know, Matt. It's not a region game anymore, not even in the same class. Last year, 3A, Burke County goes up to 4A, Thompson goes down to 2A, and, you know, made that undefeated run to the quarterfinals last year in Class 3A. So you look at everything that they bring back. Michael Youngblood has told us it's state championship or bust for the boys from the Brickyard, and Tavis Curry and Jakias Jones that they bring back, and, you know, Quinshon Hurst, Noah Story at quarterback that split snaps with Tay Martin. They will absolutely, I think, be a huge threat to win that state championship. But also in that, same subdivision as Washington County. Robert Edwards, their new head coach, Dontavius Braswell, arguably the top running back recruit in the state of Georgia, committed to South Carolina. So tomorrow night I think is going to be amazing. And I think one other thing we're looking at tomorrow night is all the border battles that we'll have. We have one here tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have Aiken High at Lakeside. We'll have North Augusta at Evans. We'll have Grovetown traveling to take on Midland Valley. So just love to see those teams cross the river, take each other on, the bigger schools, kind of see where they stand in the area. It doesn't really have playoff implications too much for them, but really looking forward to the first football Friday night of the season.
Well, we definitely want you to check out the broadcast, but if you're going to go to a football game, the Thompson-Burke County game is one that can't miss. I mean, if you want to watch some of the best football in the area, that's easily one to go to. But other than that, you've been driving around. I know we talked about your schedule today, just going everywhere. What's another team you've seen that you think, besides the ones that we hear about a lot, that we're going to hear about a lot because they're going to be so good, who are some other good sneaky teams that you expect a lot out of this year?
I don't know if they're sneaky, but, my alma mater, but South Aiken Thoroughbreds won a region title, their first one in 30 years, first under Chris Hamilton, and bring back Terrence Smith, who could be Region Player of the Year quarterback, rushed for more than 1,000 yards, and they bring back Javon Edwards, who rushed for 1,000 yards as a freshman a year ago. So they will certainly be a team to contend with, and we'll kind of see what they're made of. They'll be at Silver Bluff tomorrow night. I know the Dogs lost a lot, but still have Malik Williams, their quarterback, and a great head coach in D'Angelo Bryant. So a good test for the T-Breds right out of the gate.
And we're getting ready to get out of here, but I'm not going to see you before the game. But there is a college football game coming up, Georgia, Oregon. Who do you think is going to win that one, and what do you see out of Georgia this year?
I think Georgia's offense is going to be even better. Obviously, the defense I don't think could be any better than last year's defense. Right. So that's a lot to live up to. But I think it'll be a long night for Dan Lanning and his Ducks in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Maybe one more time, you toss it up to AB.
For old time's sake, AB, back to you in the booth, my friend.
Finally, a professional to send it to us. Thank goodness. Nah, just kidding. Great job, Matt and Brendan. We appreciate it. And, Augusta Christian out in front 20-0. And Nathan, the Lions took advantage of some miscues by Ridge Spring Monetta to get this lead.
Absolutely. It was some big penalties for Ridge Spring Monetta. We had the big interception, and also the snap of their head of the punter was, in essence, another turnover as well. Really had a lot of things go against themselves, and Augusta Christian took advantage of it, was able to move the ball, got a little bit more of a rhythm there, passing the ball right at the end of the second quarter. So definitely look to get it a little bit more going offensively for Augusta Christian in the second half.
Looks like we're ready to get it kicked off here for the second half. So let's go down to the field. In just a moment, we'll get our QBs by the quarter in for the second quarter, halftime. Right now, though, let's go down to the field and we'll get this second half going here with Alex Burdett, the kicker and punter for Ridge Spring. And a line drive kick caught at about the 10. And, nice return here. Look at this. A terrific. Oh, and he lost his balance. Oh, what a run, though. That is Scott Alexander, a junior DB, with a 60-yard return to start the second half. And you mentioned how it could be a 4-score game. Augusta Christian was thinking the same thing, Nathan.
Absolutely, it was warning lights flashing almost there. It's like the offense that Ridge Spring has been able to muster was not a whole lot. You just can't afford to get too far behind, and 4 scores may be too much.
After this play, we'll get our QBs by the quarter in, but first let's go to 1st and 10 for the Lions.
Dallas Carter on the 1, brought down by number 16, Deontay Hopkins.
So Hopkins with the tackle. And Nathan, let's take a look at our QBs by the quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware in Evans.
Yeah, James Boscott for Ridge Spring Monetta was 3 of 6 for 15 yards. Had the big turnover there. That was the pick 6. Brooker for Augusta Christian was 4 of 5 for 29 yards with 2 touchdowns. Donnelly came in and did really well on that drive, was 7 of 8 for 66 yards, but did have the pick in the end zone.
All right, here's Brooker back in. And Brooker scrambling around, trying to make something happen. And he throws it. He's got Wilson, who has become such a big target for this offense. Wilson is inside the 10. And a good job by Brooker. A lot of times a young quarterback gets in trouble back there, and they just take off and run. Brooker made sure not to run across the line. He was pointing and navigating and doing everything. There's Coach Stickle. Earlier I said Coach Stickle. I think it was one of the assistants. But that time he, took his time, made sure Wilson was open and got it to him.
Yeah, Wilson's got 5 catches, 67 yards now.
And it seems like even more than that, doesn't it?
Well, he had the one he dropped at the beginning of the game.
A nice little sidearm throw to Carter, who's inside the 5 down to the 4. So Augusta Christian knocking on the door. They lead it 20-0. And Dallas Carter with the catch.
From the 5.
2nd and goal. Ball is just inside the 5-yard line. It has been all Augusta Christian. Rich Spring has had a couple of decent drives, but they've had some miscues as well, and that's helped Augusta Christian, no question. They're going to hand it to Carter this time, and Carter is going to be stood up.
Dallas Carter on the run.
Nowhere to go there.
Met by the interior of the Trojan line.
Thanks to Matt Lane for all his work during the halftime show. Good chance to see Terrence Vandenberg. Yeah, Terry, he said he was a player back in the day. He was an outstanding player at Evans High School, and his son Terrence was a great player here. Went on to play in college now, playing ball.
Do they go back to that jet sweep or throw it here? Because they haven't been able to run the ball at all in the red zone.
They haven't been able to run it in these short yardage spots. So let's see. They're going to throw it. They lob it up to Gregory, and he's kind of pushed out of bounds, but they're going to say no call. Gregory unable to separate that time in that close quarter. So Wilson Donnelly comes in. As they're going to go ahead and kick it here on 4th down.
Lansing Jenkins to snap. Grayson Brooker to hold. Wilson Donnelly to attempt the field goal.
So Donnelly going to attempt the short field goal, about a 22-yarder. And his kick is blocked. So the kick is blocked. So Augusta Christian with that 60-yard kick return comes up empty with no points. And we'll take a timeout. It's Game Night Live. The Lions, though, still lead it 20-0 over Rich Spring Monetta.
First and 10 for the Trojans.
Welcome back, everybody. WJBF Sports Game Night Live. Opening night of 2022. Ashley Brown and Nathan Edwards in the booth. Matt Lane down on the field. And the entire WJBF crew bringing you live high school football action. And if you've missed any portion of the game and want to tune in at noon on Sunday, you can watch this game on WJBF News Channel 6. Part of our doubleheader this weekend.
As bad as the first half was, you put together a drive here, you're still in this football game.
Yeah. They ran a little option, but a lot of red jerseys over there, but a great run. There is no question the kid who has made this offense go is that young man right there, Hopkins.
He's met by Wes Michelson.
DeAndre Hopkins, keep him on the field. I know he's your best defensive player, but, man, he has looked good running the ball. There's no way he should have picked up those yards on that play.
22-yard line.
But he was able to maneuver his way for a first down. So Rich Spring Monetta trying to get some points here.
Yeah, he's got 33 yards on 4 rushes, so keep feeding him the ball.
Yeah, he's definitely looked good. He didn't carry it in the first quarter, but in the second quarter on one specific drive, they were feeding him. And then when he wasn't running, Nathan, remember he was the lead blocker and doing a good job. I formation. And they're going to give it to him again. And again, he makes the first guy miss.
Deontay Hopkins on the carry.
The flag is down, but another solid run by Hopkins.
Number 45, Elton Wilson. There's
It's crazy how much football has changed that the I formation looks like Stone Age now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's almost like when you show a 12-year-old a rotary phone. Like,
holding
what is this? Or
on the offense, number 11.
You show them the
10-yard penalty.
Think the coach
Still first down.
You know?
Against the Trojans.
Yeah, somewhere Bobo is smiling.
Yeah, holding against the Trojans there.
It remains first down. The ball is spotted at the Trojan 12-yard line.
Yeah, the Rich Spring Monetta Trojans. I'm sure they make longer trips during the year, but in a moment we'll show exactly where they had to come from to get here tonight for this matchup. And Quarterback under center again. Handoff. Oh, ball on the ground. Augusta Christian, I think, has it. Oh, no, it scooted out of the pile, and Hopkins was there to get it. It's a loss of yards, but they don't give up the football at least.
I mean, this drive seems like the theme of the game. It's like they had something going again, and then they mess up and get a penalty, and then they almost fumble it away.
And it was almost like Brian Smith knew what was going to happen, because when we interviewed him this week, he said, you know, we've had 2 scrimmages. One of them we didn't turn the ball over, and we were able to look okay on offense. The other game we turned the ball over, and it did not look good. We can't turn the ball over. We can't have mistakes because we just don't have the ability to make up for them like we could last year. Last year, you make a mistake in Rim Leapart, you know, the next play breaks a 50-yard run. They just don't have that this year. They hand it off again. Hopkins, and this time he's going to be brought down. Actually broke the first tackle again.
Deontay Hopkins.
A little counter play.
I said Deontay Hopkins.
Stop made by number 45, Elton Wilson.
You got fantasy football on your mind.
I know it.
Along with number 21, Gavin Hammond.
You know, John's not here tonight, and I thought one of my first thoughts was, okay, well, there's no way I can miss the trivia question tonight. But no, John thought ahead. And apparently the production team has the trivia question. So even with John not here, I can get stumped tonight on the Stump AB trivia question. 2 former Ridge Spring Monetta head coaches share names with what 2 famous late-night show hosts? Oh, my God. Head coaches shared names with what 2 famous late-night talk shows? This is one of the toughest ones ever. Oh, man. That is a tough one. Is it first and last names? Can't be. It can't be. They hadn't had a Jimmy Kimmel or a Jimmy Fallon.
well, I gotta feel safe. There's no Conans.
No, you wouldn't think there's a Conan. You wouldn't think there's no Jay Leno. Now, it's got to be just first names, right? It can't be last name then first names. I'm going to guess there's a Johnny Carson out there, though. John Carson, no doubt. It's first and last names, I'm told. Wow. I already know what I'm going, because there's no way. There's not a Jimmy Fallon. There's not a Jimmy Kimmel. There's not a Stephen Colbert. There's not a Conan O'Brien. I know the names, I think.
$19 yards to go on third
Late night talk
down.
shows. It's Arsenio Hall, no. we'll come. There's Will Myers, Johnny Carson,
Seth Myers,
or Seth Myers, Johnny Carson, and Ed Sullivan are the 3. I got to pick 2 of those 3. As Ridge Spring United keeping the football around the end here, getting up to about the 20.
On the run.
That was Boston.
Ball down by number 14, Harrison Fitzgerald.
Brian Smith still coaching them up. This is a long season. He knows this game, in the grand scheme of things, is really another scrimmage. He's talking to the official. 6:41 to go, third
Incidental
quarter.
face mask on the defense.
Another one.
5 yards from the end of the run. Repeat, third down.
I think, is that 4 face mask penalties now, 2 on each team?
Yes.
So Ridge Spring, 3rd and long here. 3rd and 10.
About 7.
Oh, now, okay, there you go. I see the line now. So it's 3rd and 7.
7 yards to go. Third down.
Dallas Carter maneuvering in the backfield, telling some of the DBs to move around because he thinks it's going to be a pass, and it is. They throw it into the flats, and it's caught. So a complete pass.
Pass is complete.
Gregory makes the tackle, but not before they pick up a first down.
Aaron Gregory on the stop for the Lions. The play results in a first down for
So
Ridge
Adams
Spring
with the
Monetta. Ball is
catch.
spotted at the 36-yard line.
And this time they're going to give it to Taylor, and he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great play made by number 45, Elton Wilson. You know, he's played pretty well tonight. We've called his name quite a bit. An undersized linebacker, but he's been on a bunch of tackles. And we've got a player down. So we'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, I'm probably going to miss a trivia question, and we'll see what Ridge Spring Monetta can do with the football here. 5:39 to go, third quarter on Game Night Live. Back at Pride Valley on the campus of Augusta Christian. And the Lions lead at 20-0 midway through the third quarter. Ridge Spring has the football, second down and 12. They're going to throw it. Pass is caught.
Boskett's pass complete to number 9, Jaden Watson.
So Boskett got it to Watson there, the 6'5", Jaden Watson. And we've got an Augusta Christian player down now.
Number 22.
And again, it looks like a cramp. We're seeing a lot of that. Well, while we got a moment, I'll let do we want to go to the trivia now, or do we want to do the? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to go with the answer to the trivia. What two former Ridge Spring Monetta coaches share a name with a late night talk show host? I'm going to go Seth Myers and Johnny Carson. Let's see it. Oh, John Carson, Jim Kimmel?
Jim Kimmel.
What are the odds that there was a Jim Kimmel?
Wow.
I got John Carson, but Jim Kimmel? Wow. Oh, well, 50%. Oh, I'm being told from the truck, John's not here, so technically that doesn't count. I eased my way into the season.
Anthony Fluke and Carson Smith second up.
Well, don't tell him I didn't follow him on. Didn't see his tweet, guys. Apparently, I'm being told he tweeted it out last night. I follow him on Twitter. I'm just
can't
gotta
even
read
get a
his
follow
stuff now. Yeah, when those pop up, I just forward through them on my phone.
3 yards to go.
All right, 20-0 Lions. Third down, big play here. Third down at about 4 for Ridge Spring Monetta on opening night of the 2022 football season. Boskett looking to throw, and nowhere to go. Wilson's going to get him. Those big, long arms from Luke Wilson, who's had a great night, although he might have hurt himself on that play. And another cramp from a Ridge Spring player, and Wilson's cramping. We're seeing a lot of that tonight. Watch Wilson with this great play, using those long arms, because if Wilson doesn't get him, it's a first down. If Wilson doesn't stop him, that is a first down. Instead, it's fourth down for Ridge Spring.
I mean, do we go one call here? I mean, do you have much of a decision? I mean, I don't know if you can punt the ball here.
Yeah, I mean, not if you're playing to win the football game. You got to go for it probably.
Yeah.
Matt Lane did used to play for Augusta Christian.
Yeah.
If there are enough injuries tonight, he's asking he be put into duty. And I know Coach Cooper's already doubting if he's still in shape enough. He told me recently he was still an athlete. Matt did. That is true, a true story.
I think some people at home may have just choked on what they were snacking on.
I know one thing. I want him to get a good – I want him to play – I want him to play without a helmet, but not because I want him to get hurt, but I want to see those locks flowing in the wind. In case y'all, just a little behind the scenes for you guys. This is our first broadcast, but to let y'all know, what goes on behind the scenes is Matt Lane feeds us all sorts of lies and stuff in our ear while we're trying to broadcast the game.
Yes, they're going to line up to punt the ball here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot. I mean, it's hard not to go for it. I know Coach Smith's mentality. He wants to go for it, but maybe if you punt it and get a stop, there's just not a lot of time left with the type of offense they run. Burdett's punt is a short one, and it's going to bounce around the 40-yard line, and that's where the Lions will take over.
Rolstead.
Let's take a look.
41-yard line.
We said earlier about where Ridge Spring was, where they had to travel. There you see Augusta. There you see Aiken. Now let's delve into this here a little bit. As you go down I-20, now you cut over, and there's Ridge Spring and Monetta, and there's the high school. Monetta, what they're known for? A drive-in movie theater, the Big Mo on exit 33, right off I-20. And there you see it. So they had 33 miles just to get in the state.
Yeah.
And then, of course, made their way over here to Augusta Christian.
The old double feature. And I've never been able to make it through both movies.
Yeah, we the last time we went, the kids were much younger, and we laid the seats down in the SUV and had them all back there with food, and they were all excited. And you're right, like halfway through the first movie, they're out. So Rebecca and I enjoyed the first movie, and then, we didn't finish either. But, yeah, that is a cool experience. If you haven't been over there, the Big Mo out in some free advertising for them, I guess. And Ridge Spring, we talk about the numbers. And Brian Smith said when he got this job, it reminded him a lot when he was at Strom Thurmond back in the 90s. The community and the people and the atmosphere, how proud they were of their team. And he got this offer and said he couldn't turn it down. And they throw it, and it's incomplete. A flag's down, though.
Yeah, he was doing that two-hour drive.
He's and Coach Smith still is making that drive because he still lives in Greenville. He's still making that drive. And Matt pointing out that
legal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Because this possession, because of the cramping. There's Andy Stickle. We talked a lot about Brian Smith. Coach Stickle, man, what has he done in his 2 years? Nothing but average 9 wins a season, 9-3 both years. And he's got a pretty good squad this year, it looks like, with some newcomers on offense and defense that are performing pretty well tonight. Here's Landrum. First time we've called his name on a run. And it's a pretty solid one.
On the carry. Stop is made by number 33, Braylon Smith.
So Braylon Smith makes the tackle after the run by Landrum.
The run moves the ball just outside.
Late flag.
Winners of state championships in 2005 and 2012.
I think we got a late flag on a Ridge Spring Monetta player. I don't know what he said to the official, but there's something going on. He didn't like number 10.
Yeah, we're going to go 50.
Ball, looks like. Let's see.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike. Number 10 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty. That's his first towards disqualification. Be a first down.
There's a look at the Lions offense. A lot of youth in there. 73's a sophomore. 7's a eighth grader. 26 is a sophomore. A lot of young players. With a senior at the helm at quarterback right now in Grayson Brooker, who also is a defensive back on this team, and they march the penalty off here. If you're joining us and didn't realize it is a rare Thursday night broadcast, we're able to, Scott Skadden and the folks behind the scenes at WJBF saw the opportunity to do a double header on our opening weekend, and love that they decided to do it. And then after this, tomorrow night, we go to one of the great venues in all of high school football in Georgia, the Brickyard in Thompson, as the Bulldogs play host to the Bulldogs, by the way, coming off 11-1 season, play host to their arch rivals from Burke County.
The stop made by number 65, Kanan Liggins.
There's Kanan Liggins, the big lineman.
And number 50.
It's tough enough playing both sides of the ball when you're a DB or a linebacker or whatever, but you're on that line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That can be tough.
Yeah, we're talking about so many guys cramping up. I mean, Augusta Christian at least has guys they can put in the game.
Yeah.
If you get somebody with severe cramps from Ridge Spring Monetta, they don't have anybody else to go in.
Here's Brooker on second down. Throw a little screen pass to Carter. Carter makes a man miss, then he's pushed out of bounds.
Tracy Brooker's pass complete to number 5, Dallas Carter. Number 6, James Boston on the stop for the Trojan. Football fans, there are still hamburgers, hot dogs, and barbecue sandwiches.
Thought we were about to see a massive hit on that play.
Yeah. Gregory did just enough to get his man out of the way. He's going to be a good one. We haven't got a chance to really see him in the open field. Really, Luke Wilson's been the biggest weapon tonight for Augusta Christian on offense. And Carter with the big interception return. They pitch it to Landrum. Landrum, nice head of steam and a pretty good run. Well, Landrum didn't think he was down as he rolled across a Ridge Spring player, but they blow the play dead.
Fourth and 1.
And we could do the one call, that's all. I think it's pretty clear they're going to go for it. And it looks like Ken Nugent, one call, that's all. Run the ball with Landrum.
Yeah, I think Ridge Spring's got to find a way to get a stop here to stay in this game.
The one call. Wow. Brooker, that is the
dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Result of the play is a first down.
And I think he did it jokingly because it was so obvious. But he does draw them off sides. So the one call, that's all, not necessary because they're able to draw the defense off and get the first down that way. So the ball's at the 25, 1st and 10 for a Lion team that's already up 20-0. Brooker looking to throw, steps up into the pocket, throws, got a man, and just overthrows Kid Flash, Aaron Gregory, the freshman.
Pass intended for number 2, Aaron Gregory, is incomplete. There's a penalty flag following the play.
And Matt's pointing out to us down on the field that there was some pushing and shoving going on after the play, and cooler heads prevail. That's where you need your leaders on the team to grab your guys and get them back to the huddle or get them into on the defensive side of the ball, out of the mess. Let's go down real quick while they sort this out for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Here is Matt Lane.
Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, kind of what you guys were talking about with folks getting those cramps, starting to get a little bit tired here later. As we get later in this game, you see right there as the foul goes against the Trojans. But them not having the numbers again, that's really going to stack up when in terms of conditioning. You like to think you get in good condition during your summer camp and over the summer, but nothing beats putting on the pads and the cleats and playing in that game atmosphere with all that adrenaline. You just can't make up for it. So looking really tired even late in this third quarter.
It's easy to say. You're right. It's easy to say, well, they should they practice in this. Why aren't they ready? You can't. It's impossible to replicate game situation and how your body and everything's so fired up and the adrenaline. You just can't match it in practice. So Brooker looking to throw, steps up, throws, got a man, and again, it's out of the reach of Aaron Gregory, who's been open on both plays. And Gregory a little frustrated.
2nd down and 10.
Gregory made a great play real early in the game, first drive, and since then it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, Brian Smith's got to be totally frustrated with the penalties tonight. I mean, I don't know what the punishment is going to be, but it could be a long practice Monday.
Yeah, penalties, turnovers. And the problem, do you wear them out? Because, again, you got to come right back and play Saluda. And here's Landrum with a nice run. Landrum's in the end zone. Touchdown. 13-yarder. So Landrum scores the touchdown. And the Lions go up by 26-0 now. That is sophomore Evan Landrum with the run. And, of course, throughout the game, you see our various sponsors pop up on the screen, and you hear us talk about some as Brooker gets the 2-point conversion. Make it a point when you're out and about and you see those folks to thank them for bringing you high school football, because without those sponsors, McDonald's and the like, we would not be able to do this. And we love bringing in the high school football action, but it is a major undertaking, and the folks at Channel 6 come out here very early in the day setting up all this equipment. And like I said, they set us up. We don't have to do a whole lot, but they do a lot of work. And without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to bring this action to you. So thanks to all the sponsors, and make sure you thank them as well when you are in their business. So the Lions 28-0 after the 2-point conversion. And it's been one of those games where Augusta Christian's been fine, but they haven't blown you away.
they've had their share of mistakes too, with
Yeah.
it being the first game.
Yeah, it's been. I think the one thing that I take away from this is they found themselves another weapon on offense with Luke Wilson. That's something we did not expect coming into the game, and he's looked very good on offense. So Donnelly will kick it. We mentioned he is a transfer from over at Greenbrier. And he'll be a part of the Lions baseball team as well. And they got a good baseball squad here with Jeb Bradford and Khalil Pratt. Some really talented players. Bradford a commit to College of Charleston, left-handed pitcher, and Khalil Pratt, who is an outstanding basketball and baseball player. Big-time lefty hitter. Reminds you a little bit of Dexter Fowler, maybe. This Lions basketball team, we said they're defending state champions. A lot of good things happening over here, as you've heard the folks point out during the interviews.
Rich Spring Monetta will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 35.
So Rich Spring Monetta will have the football here, but just 2 minutes left in the third, and they're down big.
I think this is where Brian Smith wants to see the fight in his team.
Yeah.
He wants to see him keep pushing here.
Yeah, let's drive down and score. Let's
just give me one drive, and we'll take it from there.
While earlier we were talking coaches and coaches' names, and I noticed one name on the assistant coaches list for Ridge Spring Monetta is Telix Lanham. Telix was one of the great players for Brian Smith back in the day at Strom Thurmond in 95 and 96, those teams that went so deep in the playoffs for 2 years. And Lanham was the best defensive player on those teams, went on to play some college ball, and he is now one of the assistants for Coach Smith. And this time they fake the handoff. Nowhere to really run as Michelson is there. Michelson's had a great game.
Bosket on the carry.
Bosket.
By number 20, Wes Michelson.
Bosket with the carry. Yeah, Wes Michelson's going to be a kid that, Clark Jackson of Aquinas is the guy that everybody looks at as kind of the guy who's going to lead the area in tackles. He, led as a freshman, had over 100. Last year, had over 150. I got to tell you, I think Wes Michelson's going to give him a run for his money in terms of leading tackles, because he is a tackle machine. He's always where the ball is. There he is again. I mean, this is a kid.
Deontay Hopkins on the carry.
If they really keep good stats, this kid could average 20 tackles a game.
For the Lions.
I mean, he's always around the ball.
Is enough for a first down for the Trojans.
They graduated 3 very good linebackers led by Will Blackwell. And we mentioned Michelson was more of a defensive end last year, but they moved him into the middle linebacker spot, and he looks really good there. Here he comes. Oh, and what a play. What a play. Wow, wow, wow.
By number 20, Wes Michelson, and number 30,
I got a 50.
Carson Smith.
He can't believe that the penalty flag, but watch this play. What's the penalty? He didn't lower his head?
Like a face mask right at the end by 19.
Oh, a face mask. It wasn't Michelson. It was someone else. Okay. That was reminiscent of
personal
Jadavian
foul,
Clowney
face mask
Michigan.
on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run.
But
was
that
on the first
play,
down.
Michelson nails the running back, and he grabs the quarterback and tackles him. What a play by 20. He shot the gap and timed it perfectly.
Yeah, that Clowney.
But there was a penalty flag. It was number 19, I believe, who got the face mask.
For the Trojans.
Good eye by Nathan there.
48-yard line.
So the flag is on Ian Hammond. But, man, what a great play by Michelson. So Rich Spring on the move a little bit here, benefiting from a penalty. And running the football. Closing in here on the end of the third quarter.
Stopped by Wes Michelson.
And if you're Augusta Christian, because you count so heavily on Michelson and Wilson and some of these guys, if you give up a score here, it gets a little dicey to you leaving the game. But if you're able to stop them, you may want to take some of these guys out and let them rest up. And just nowhere to go. Good job.
He's stopped by number 33, Carson Smith.
Bosket with the run, but it was Carson Smith, another sophomore, who made the play. It's amazing to me, Nathan. I say it a lot, and this year it's even bigger than ever. Back in the day, the high school varsity football team was all seniors and juniors. If you made the varsity or played younger than that, it was a surprise, a shock. And that's not the case. Tons of freshmen and sophomores on the varsity now. All right, that's the end of 3 quarters of play. Augusta Christian on top at home here, 28-0 on Rich Spring. We'll be back with the 4th quarter on Game Night Live in a moment. And we welcome you back to Pride Valley on the campus of Augusta Christian. Ashley Brown, Nathan Edwards, and Matt Lane down on the field as we bring you Game Night Live. And a nice run this time by Bosket, the quarterback, and he's limping at the end of the play too. We have seen cramps galore tonight. Cramps and face masks. How about 5 face? I don't remember a game where I've seen 5 face masks.
No, I don't remember that many face masks either.
The ball is spotted at the Augusta Christian 21-yard line. First and 10.
Now let's take a look at our QBs by the quarter. It's brought to you by Culpeper, Ace Hardware, and Evans.
Yeah, Bosket for Ridge Spring still 5 of 8 for 35 yards and interception. Donnelly still the 7 of 8, 66 yards and interception. Didn't play at all in that 3rd quarter. Brooker came back in. He's 7 of 11 for 57 yards and 2 touches.
Yeah, they've both been pretty solid. Donnelly gave him a real spark, though. He did throw the interception, ill-advised, trying to make a play. And this time Hopkins nowhere to go.
Deontay Hopkins on the run.
Smith with the tackle, 33.
Stop made by Carson Smith and Anthony Flute.
Yeah, we're talking about Michelson. I just feel like if you're the PA guy here at Augusta Christian, you don't know who made the tackle. Just say his name. You're probably 90% chance.
Yeah, you're probably close. He has been a machine tonight, and really last year. 92 tackles for a defensive end is unheard of. You know, your linebackers, yes. Your defensive ends, not so much. And he led the team in tackles.
You had Blackwell in there, too, stealing tackles from you, say.
Well, and they had 3 good linebackers, really solid last year. And
there he is.
Oh, and there he is, right on cue with a quarterback sack. You know, he beat the block, and that block was Hopkins, not a small guy. He beats the block and makes a play. This kid, I said tonight on the radio show before the game that I thought he was the most underrated player in the area, and he ain't going to be underrated for long, not when people start watching this. And keep in mind, every other CSRA team can watch this right now, so they're seeing that Augusta Christian has a player in Wes Michelson.
Yeah, definitely be fun to rewatch this game and see how many tackles he's actually had. Keeping tackles live is incredibly difficult on the high school level. Yeah,
usually Nathan is keeping stats and spotting and doing all that, and you're able to keep a little more stats. Tonight he's been called into active duty, so to speak, doing the color, and I appreciate him doing that on short notice. He'll be with me again tomorrow night, and John Hart will be back with us next week. 28-0 Augusta Christian.
13.
And it's 4th and 13. We can do a Ken Nugent one call, that's all. What do you do here? Bosket, when you have rolled him out, has been short on most passes.
Yeah, pretty much every pass has been a rollout, though. They haven't thrown anything from the pocket.
Haven't seen to Hopkins, maybe?
Haven't seen any trick plays.
No. And they're going to roll him out again. This time he steps up, and he's going to run it. Oh, and he breaks a tackle.
Nice. There
he's going to score a touchdown. How about that?
James Bosket runs into the end zone for the Rich Spring Monetta touchdown.
So Bosket was going to roll out and try to throw. Didn't have anything open, so he tucked it. And look at this nice little run here. You see the big fella, Wilson, was in his way there. There's Michelson, and he beats him. There you go. Nice run by Bosket.
Yeah, if you're Brian Smith, this is what you want. You get to score here. We've all seen crazier things happen in football. It's still only a 21-point game. They're not completely out of it.
Lawson Gainey to hold Alex Burdette to attempt the extra point.
So Burdette to try and kick the extra point, but Rich Spring's going to call a quick timeout here.
That's not what you want to have happen when you're down 21. Those timeouts are going to be important.
I just got a text, somebody asking me about the game tomorrow night, Thompson. Yeah, it is at Thompson. Great environment. Both schools have great environments, but Eric Parker, and I'm going to tell you, this Burke, as much as we're talking about Thompson, They went 11-1 last year, went deep, won a state playoff game, and they return a lot of talent. And they even had a talented, maybe the most talented receiver, with apologies to Malik Leverett. It's close. I think Leverett's the better receiver, but the most talented, most gifted might be Marcellus Brigham at Thompson. We saw him last week. That kid's really good. But Burke County, no slouch. They got Marshall Flowers back at quarterback, Charlie Dorsey and Amari Williams at running back. They got Jalen Golphin at receiver. They've got talent all around the field. Do they have enough for Thompson, though? I don't know. That's a clash of titans there.
That was a great game last year. Thompson got out early, and Burke County fought back in the second half and really made it a game.
Thompson's got him a great defensive lineman as well by the name of Vantavius Cummings. He's only a sophomore. Last year as a freshman, he was outstanding.
If you're choosing one place to go to for a high school football game in Georgia, it's hard to pass the Brickyard.
It is. The atmosphere, the fan support, and, again, when they're playing a team like a Burke County, it's going to be a good one. Here's Burdett's kick is up, and it looks like it is going to trickle through.
Burdett's kick is good.
So with 10:03 to go,
there's a penalty flag on the
there's a flag down. Hold on.
Umpires might get some cramps, too.
Yeah. Well, Matt said earlier the throw of the night was one of the officials throwing his flag across the field. And the extra point's good. So 28-7.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker against Augusta Christian. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Yes, dear.
As the Augusta Sports Council names a punter of the game for each team at every game night live of the season.
Yeah, tomorrow, again, there's Sunday, you can catch the rebroadcast of this game at noon. And so if you missed any of it, you can see Wes Michelson and Big Luke Wilson and this Augusta Christian team who's up now. It should be 28-7, correct? Did I miss something?
Yeah, I think they're working on fixing it.
Oh, okay. I was making sure they didn't wave that off and run a 2-point conversion.
So it's a new rule this year, the two-point extra point.
Number 12, Alex Burdett, set to kick for Rich Spring Monetta.
So Burdett is going to kick it from the Augusta Christian side of the field.
Now you have to onside kick this.
Well, a good job. I looked like a lineman that did that, but really good hands.
Is recovered.
Yeah, 79 for Augusta Christian.
79, Lansing Jenkins.
Lansing Jenkins.
The ball is spotted at the Augusta
with a good job there corralling that football.
That's one of those we see all throughout the high school year. If you get that 15-yard penalty, always onside kick that.
Time.
Why blast it through the end zone?
Every time. I mean, again, there's some math to back up onside kicking it every time, no matter where you are.
There was a coach that did that, went for 2 every time.
Hey, and he ended up getting a college job at Presbyterian. He said that he had only kicked, in the last 7 years, he had punted like once. And here's Rhines. We haven't seen him much since the first quarter.
Number 6, Amari Rhines.
Amari Rhines, he had a really solid start to the game. It looks like replacing Zach Blackwell is going to be sort of a running back by committee with Rhines and Carter, the main two, and John Smith as well.
A gain of 7, second down and 3.
Trying to get the clock rolling.
Yeah, the clock.
I think they're having some issues with the clock.
And the flag is down.
Flag on the field.
Yeah, the officials are winding the arm, but there's an issue.
Dead ball, false start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Against the Lions.
And apparently it is running, but just on the scoreboard itself, it's not moving. So
may have to keep it on the field.
Might have to. We've seen it happen before.
Here, but not up there. It's running on the clock here, but not running up there.
And you hear the official maybe in the background yelling down to the field.
Working on here, but not on the scoreboard.
So as you hear them trying to get that cleared up.
Yeah, it has been a little bit cooler weather, AB, but it hasn't really turned the humidity down.
It hasn't, but I'll take this over what some other games we've experienced for sure. And knock on wood, the last couple of trips from Thompson, you've been hard pressed to make it home. It's rained so hard. Remember the last couple times there.
Don't say that with the forecast for tomorrow.
Yeah. I can't wait for that one though. Looking because Thompson, they already had Jontavius Curry, who's the most electrifying player in the area. Not necessarily the best, but the most electrifying. He can score on any touch. Jordan Lane's a speed burner coming out of the backfield and can catch the ball. You add Marcellus Brigham, and now they got two good quarterbacks with Jacarius Jones and Noah Story. That offense at Thompson looks good.
Yeah. And we've learned you get there early or good luck finding a parking place.
That is 100% true.
I mean, Thompson and Burke County both home games, their tailgates rival a small college.
It does. The whole community, basically shuts down, and just such a great atmosphere. So here we go, 9:13 to go as the clock was running, so they got it straight now.
Fumble.
And there's a fumble, and Augusta Christian has the ball back.
Rig Spring were to get that ball, they're not out of this game.
We're at 9:03 to go in the ball game.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Then we got a hold on Augusta.
So I think they're going to keep the time down on the field.
Yeah, I think he's heading down there.
The official in the press box is going down to the field.
Holding on the offense.
Yeah, they can't.
10-yard penalty. Still second down.
In the booth, but it's not changing on the actual scoreboard. So, like up here, we know that the clock is run down to 9:03.
It's not operating. The time will be kept by an official on the field.
So they will keep the time on the field. And it should be 9:03.
There are 9 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the game.
I think they're waiting for that official to get down there.
Yeah. So they're giving the official time to get on the field. Again, we appreciate you being with us for WJBF Game Night Live, powered by McDonald's and all of our great sponsors. And the crew tonight doing a great job of making Nathan and I look good. Matt laying down on the field. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we will have some post-game festivities on the field as well. Yeah, good chance to see that student section, the T-Mobile student section. There you see them. Out here supporting their school. We got our players of the game, brought to you by McDonald's. Coming up at the conclusion of the game, we got our Powerade play of the game. We've got our East Central Health District hit of the game. All that coming your way during the post game. But first, we've got 9 minutes and 3 seconds we've got to complete.
Yeah, we got about 2nd and 20 when we come back. See if Augusta Christian stays aggressive here, or they try and run the ball and use some of the clock.
I think they probably run the ball and use the clock. But you never know. Like you said, Ridge Spring, if they do get a turnover and a score, they're right back in this game. So maybe you continue to play a little aggressive. Yeah, last drive they were trying to throw it some.
I mean, they've run the ball some, but not enough to convince you they could run this clock out.
They're going to throw it. Brooker scrambling now, looking downfield. He's going to throw it, and coming back to make the catch is Gregory. That's a very, that's a play you see from a junior or senior coming back to help the quarterback that way, but the freshman Aaron Gregory making a play. Matt said earlier tonight that no team in America wears more eye black than Augusta Christian, and he might be right. You saw the kid's face there with it rubbed all over his face.
Yeah, it's Aaron's 4th catch of the night for 36 yards.
Yeah, pretty solid. Solid varsity debut as an official high school student. He did play some last year. Michelson trying to run it now.
Well, big stop there. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, Ridge Spring will get the ball. And, hey, if they're able to punch it in, this could get a little interesting.
I might sell out for a block here.
The loss brings up 4th down.
Because I think you're going to need some kind of big play turnover to get the 21 points.
Yeah, 4th and 6. Let's see if they go after the kick. It doesn't look like they're coming after it.
James Bosket deep for the Trojans.
Well, you definitely don't want to jump off sides coming after the kick and give them another 1st down.
No, for sure. Yeah, definitely do not do that. And here's Donnelly's punt.
Good kick.
It's a really good one, yeah. Not a lot of hang time, but a long kick. And a good return. Augusta Christian folks wanted a block in the back call.
To the 38-yard line, he stopped.
We got a flag back here at the line of scrimmage.
Landon Young, there's a penalty flag on the play.
Now the Augusta Christian player helping a Ridge Spring player with a cramp. We'll take a break. About 7 minutes or so to go in this one. Augusta Christian up 28-7. We'll be back. And we are back on the campus of Augusta Christian at Pride Valley, as they call it, their football stadium. The Lions lead at 28-7 with about 7 minutes to go in the ball game. They're keeping the clock down on the field
After the Augusta Christian penalty,
due to a malfunction with the clock.
1st and 10 at their own 44.
So a shot of the scoreboard would do you no good right now, but it is 28-7 Augusta Christian, we can tell you that.
It's not Matt keeping the clock down there, is it?
And rolling out is Bosket. Bosket going to run with it, and he is going to be tackled from behind by who else? Number 20. And Wes Michelson gets him.
And number 20, Wes Michelson.
So Bosket, who scrambled last time and scored a touchdown, now scrambles and picks up 3. 2nd and 7. So 6:28 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that time's accurate or not.
I think that's what they're telling them from the field, and they're trying to update it as they go. Here's Hopkins with a nice run up the middle. He'll pick up about 6, maybe 5, but he's got about 1.5 yards to go for the 1st down. 3rd down coming up. Gorgeous night for high school football to kick off the 2022 season.
To the 47-yard line.
And
3rd down.
Yeah, give Ridge Spring credit. They've stayed in. They haven't given up, and this is a tough situation they are in, down big early. And if they score here, they're right back in it. But there's not a lot of time left. The clock is definitely not their friend. Here's Bosket. Going to hand it off, and a good tackle in the backfield. Okay, these young linebackers, they're not big, but they make plays. That's Elton Wilson with another good play. Elton Wilson, Carson Smith, they're stepping in big time tonight. Along with Wes Michelson, their leader, those small linebackers making a lot of plays tonight. Remind you a little bit of all those small linebackers Harlem always has. Always putting their nose on the football. So 4th down and about 4. And what do you do here, Nathan, if you're Brian Smith? I guess you roll out Bosket again and let him throw or make a play with his feet. That or dump it off to Hopkins.
They're going to take a timeout and think about it.
They will take a timeout.
Yeah, I just don't know that they have that many passing plays in the playbook. We've only really seen the same 2 or 3 rollout plays.
That's true. And, of course, for the first time all year, tomorrow night we will be able to update you with scores from around the area. And, of course, Waynesboro,
Chrysler Dodge
Jeep Ram, the sponsor this year. And there you see the lineup. Look at that. Burke County, Thompson, that's the big one we'll be at. But you got Jefferson County, Aquinas should be great. North Augusta, Evans, Harlem, Greenbrier. All these matchups solid. South Aiken, Silver Bluff's going to be a good one. South Aiken's got a great QB and a great young running back. Silver Bluff with Malik Williams at QB. They lost their star running back who transferred to Midland Valley. And, oh, by the way, they're hosting Grovetown. So some really good matchups around the area tomorrow night. And Westside, they graduated a lot, and they're going to have to deal with Jalen Patrick and Eric Grant. So that'll be tough.
I definitely didn't see a punt coming here.
Oh, 4th and 4. Midfield. That is interesting. Burdett's going to punt it. So, yeah, they punt it away. And Augusta Christian happy to let it just bounce. It'll bounce down inside the 20, down to the 18. And that's where the Lions will take over and try to run this clock out as they appear to be headed to victory number 1 of the 2022 season. But, yeah, tomorrow night should be a great, great night of football. And, of course, throughout the year, you can get caught up on Friday nights with all the scores with Football Friday Night with, Brendan and Colin Cody. Should be fun.
You've picked games for a long time in the area. I got to believe the first couple of weeks are always the hardest because you get a lot of really good non-region matchups that you don't get.
It's harder nowadays. It didn't used to be that hard. You knew who the teams were going to be. Now, you're right. It's tougher. It takes you a few weeks into the season before you really get it dialed in. Because you don't know which kids transferred in, which kids worked hard in the off season. That kind of who's gelling, who's able to replace the kids that move on. So it's tough to do. It's not like college and the pros where all that stuff's so publicized.
Stop made by number 44, Jarvis Bush.
That said, I'm going to go undefeated tomorrow.
Nice.
No, not in the first week, not. So we'll see. I'm going to pick a few of them, though. I tell you, one of the tough ones to pick is Thompson-Burke County. I lean Thompson. They're at home. They're explosive. But you never know with Eric Parker, man. He always gets his team ready to play. And there's a new receiver catching the ball that time.
Yeah, and I know I've always heard you say that if you had one game you needed to win, you are choosing Eric Parker as a coach.
You give me a week and a week to prepare for a game, I'll take Eric Parker. And over the years we've had some great coaches, and you could argue all of them, but I think I'll take Eric Parker and let you have whoever, and I'll be comfortable. He always had, he took over a Laney program that was 4-26 in the 3 years before he got there, and he turned them into a state contender. He goes to Burke County. They had been struggling, hadn't been to the playoffs in about 4 or 5 years, and now he's been there 16 straight with them. So I just, and it's nothing, his stuff is nothing fancy. He throws the ball a little bit more now because he has Marshall Flowers. But, he runs that, veer and, nothing fancy about what he does.
He's always a coach that's never been scared to play a lot of players either.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of players early.
He does.
He's not worried about a star guy racking up a bunch of stats.
And the other thing he does, and I think it's helped him, is he is not afraid to play great teams early in the year. His non-region schedule is always brutal. And he just thinks that prepares his team as there's a sack in the backfield, and we might have another face mask.
Well, in high school football, unless you're just looking to pile up a bunch of easy wins, there's really no reason not to, because non-region means absolutely nothing.
It means nothing, yeah. Just get your team ready to play. That's one thing. When Rodney Holder was named the first coach at Grovetown, Grovetown started scheduling Buford, Northside, Warner Robins. And I was thinking, man, does that demoralize your team a little bit? And he said, no. He said, I wanted to take them there and show them. We played them on the road because I wanted to take them and show them the facilities.
Personal
show them
foul,
what the program
face
looked
mask
like,
on the
show them
defense.
What they did.
15 yards from
always
the previous
respected
spot.
You know,
That'll
he
be a
knew
first
it was
down.
gonna be a tough night playing them, but he wanted to see his team see what it's like to be able to, you know, if you really want to compete against the best, this is what it's going to take.
We're just adding to our record face mask tonight.
That's 6, at least 6.
At least 6.
Maybe 7. So the Lions with the football and a 21-point lead, and they got Donnelly back in at quarterback.
Inside 4 minutes left in the game.
And they just announced the time. I didn't hear it. Yeah, I think they did announce it. Donnelly with a nice run. 4 minutes left, Matt Lane is telling us. They're keeping it down on the field. Now the clock says 4 minutes. I don't know if they can count it, but they can at least try to update it as the officials update it.
First down, AC.
Yeah, you know, that's what happens when we come to Matt Lane's alma mater, weird things happen.
So Augusta Christian definitely still letting Donnelly throw the ball here, get some work in.
Yeah.
Number 1, John Smith on the carry, brought down by number 56.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we will announce the offensive and defensive players of the game, and I think one of the few games where it's, in my opinion, pretty cut and dry. I don't know about you, but I think that 2 players sort of took themselves to the top here. And let's see if we agree. Yep, that's my offensive for sure.
Yeah, and
the defensive, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
So
Defensive is easiest one maybe we've ever had.
So Matt Lane will have those guys down on the field after the game. He'll also talk to the victorious head coach, which right now appears to be Andy Stickle. And it's interesting, too, Augusta Christian still has, you know, you see Big Wilson in the game still.
And 2 seconds remaining in the game.
You know, doesn't get any easier for either one of these teams.
No.
Their schedules are brutal. Augusta Christian's schedule, you get to the second half of the region, it's just everybody was the last 8 teams in the playoffs last year.
And this is a team that's replacing maybe the best player in the state from last year in Zach Blackwell.
Number 21.
He was the state
Gavin
offensive
Hammond
player of the year.
On the run. Stopped by Cam Samuels and Kanan Liggins.
So Samuels and Liggins make the tackle. 4th and short for Augusta Christian, 4th and about 3. Wilson Donnelly, the backup quarterback, is in. He has played a little bit tonight. He looked good throwing the football, had the 1 interception, but prior to that was 5 for 5. We are under 2 minutes to go in the game. And they hand it to Landrum. Landrum running up the middle. He's got a touchdown tonight and still running. Good hard run by Landrum.
Stop made by number 11, Cam Samuels, and number 25, Akeem Mills. 1 minute remaining in the game.
1 minute left in the game, and I think you might see Augusta Christian. Will we see him take victory formation here? Let's see.
The game was enough for a first down, AC.
It's first. And yes. So first down, let's see if they, yeah, it looks like victory formation here for the Lions. Hines and Wilson flanking their quarterback. Now Carter comes in as well.
We got
Conley. The best formation you can have on offense in football right there.
We learned last year it's not always an automatic, though.
It's true.
Washington Wilkes fumbled.
That game was wild. We were down on the field at Washington Wilkes against Lincoln County. Boy, Dalen Cobb put on a show, but, you know, Huff and Lincoln County were outstanding as well. Dalen Cobb, who's moved on to Georgia Southern. And that's going to do it. Augusta Christian, as the clock is running out, is coming off the field with a victory on opening night, 28-7, the Lions take care of business. They knock off the Ridge Spring Monetta Trojans. 28-7, again, your final score tonight. And Nathan, Augusta Christian took it. They didn't look outstanding. They looked solid at times, but they took advantage of the miscues by Ridge Spring for sure.
Absolutely. I think they're going to look back on it, and there's definitely a lot of things they could do better. Definitely found some rhythm, I thought, throwing the ball. The running game, I think, has a little bit of work to do to be a little bit more consistent.
Well, Ridge Spring, it gets really tough next week. They got Saluda, but, Brian Smith, he knows this is a long season. And like I said, a few years ago, they lost to their arch rivals 40-6 in the regular season and came back and beat them in the playoffs. So he can get that team ready to go. He's made some postseason runs in his day, for sure.
I mean, I think it's easy for him to tell them, hey, look, we did almost everything wrong.
Yeah.
And we were in this game.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break, though. We're going to come back. We couldn't get the coach. So let's take our time out. When we come back, it'll be the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game with Matt Lane on the field.
And welcome on the field for our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game for Augusta Christian, getting the win today, 28-7 over Ridge Spring Monetta. And want to start things off on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously playing really well, only giving up 7 points. Our defensive player of the game is number 20, Wes Michelson. And Wes, obviously not giving up a ton of points, but it was the first game. How do you feel like you guys played overall?
Well, first off, I just want to say thank you to all my defensive players. I might have made a lot of the highlight plays, but they made the football plays. We got a lot of things to work on, but our defense is going to be pretty tough this year.
Did it look? Did they play like you guys thought they would play? Were the highlights in terms of only giving up that one touchdown run? Did it seem were they running the same stuff you guys saw at practice?
I'm gonna be honest. They came out and kind of fooled us for a minute. They have a heck of a team. I'm gonna be honest. Their quarterback is a really good runner. We had to adjust during halftime because they kept killing us on the one outside run.
Well, a terrific effort, only giving up 7 points. Wes Michelson, number 20, our defensive player of the game. For offense, I want to hand it to Luke Wilson, number 23. Several catches during the game, obviously some highlights. Offense, I told you before, it seems like a lot of times coming into a season it's hardening to get first couple of games. How do you feel like you guys did?
I feel like we played great. We came out there and worked hard. We waited all summer for this. We went crazy. I'm proud of my O-line because without them catches, if I want to get them catches, and my O-line did not work, and my quarterback didn't work. So I think we played pretty good this week.
So a lot of folks cramping out, during the game. How did you? I saw you stretching a couple of times. Are you guys ready to go? How'd you feel today?
I felt great, but I came out cramping because I don't know. I guess I didn't drink enough water, but we always got to hydrate more. That's all it really is.
Well, first couple of games, it takes a while to get your sea legs, but you guys did a great job getting the win today. Our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Back to you, AB.
Matt, congrats to Wes Michelson, who had an amazing game on defense, and, of course, the big guy, Luke Wilson, who had a solid game on offense as well.
Yeah, we might need to get him a ladder for that interview.
Yeah, Matt is going to need a ladder next time. All right, well, let's take a look at our East Central Health District hit of the game. There were a lot to choose from. Let's see what we went with. It was early in the game, and like I said, it was a perfect tackle made by Taylor on Landrum. Ridge Spring gets the hit of the game. And, of course, we also always give you our Powerade play of the game. So let's see what we've got for that. Powerade play of the game, again, this is blind. We're going to see what it is. And it's a big play for Ridge Spring Monetta.
It was the interception.
Interception that was a key play for them for sure. So Ridge Spring with a couple of nice highlight plays in tonight's game. Now, folks, want to thank everybody for coming out tonight as Augusta Christian, or everybody watching tonight, Augusta Christian with a big win. 28-7 the final score. They are 1-0 on the young season, and Ridge Spring Monetta, as you see them getting talked to by the coaches, they are 0-1, going to try to regroup this week in practice and get ready for their next one. And right now, let's go over to our QBs by the quarter. Nathan has those. So brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Yeah, Bosket for Rich Spring Monetta ended the game 5 of 8 for 35 yards and interception. Donnelly got in there with a little bit more action there in the fourth quarter, finished 7 of 9 for 66 yards and an interception. And then we had Brooker with 9 of 13, 80 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All right, thanks, Nathan. Well, look, it's going to get easier. Rich Spring Monetta does play a tough one next week, but region play, they'll be playing teams their size. I think you'll see this team do well. Brian Smith always gets them ready. And for Augusta Christian, you're right, their schedule's tough as well. But these young kids, look, the young freshmen and sophomores having to play tonight stepped in and I thought did a really nice job. And they got a maniac on defense in Wes Michelson who can absolutely go. And hold on one second. Let's go down on the field real quick. Matt's got Coach Steckel. Go ahead.
Hey, really quick. Thanks, Coach, for joining me. Terrific effort, 28 points, only giving up 7, just that one long run. Still the first game. How do you feel like your guys did?
Really impressed with the defense. I thought they did a really good job setting the tone. Got a stop at the goal line down here, got a pick 6. I thought the defense really did a good job carrying us.
A lot of stuff given up in terms of yardage. You lose through graduation last year. So a new team, and you never really learn, it seems, until you start actually playing the games. Offense-wise, what did you think?
We got to grow up front. I mean, our line's got to get used to playing in games. They need as many game reps as they can get. They'll get better as the season goes on. It's good to see the young backs doing a good job, so I'm excited.
What are you looking forward to seeing in your team the next couple of weeks as they sort of mature into the season?
Yeah, just progression, really controlling the line of scrimmage. I thought defensive line did pretty well. Offensive line, we got to get better at that. So the more we can control the line of scrimmage, the better off we're going to be. But pretty good overall.
Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to you, AB.
All right, thanks, Matt. And, of course, a lot of folks to thank tonight. Our director, Kyle Thomas, the replay, Hannah DiArco, Josh Recor on graphics, audio, Jeff Singleton, Akia Hawes, one of our camera members of the camera crew, along with Matt Mercier, Ketron Hugie, Gary Nipple. Field grip is Antonio Richardson. The field mic, Antonio McFarland. On the sidelines, Lori Morrison. The red cat was Adam Karstens. In the live truck, Reginald Mackey. And our master control is, of course, Levi Crawford. Again, thanks to that crew. They did a phenomenal job bringing in the sights and sounds of high school football on opening night. Augusta Christian a winner, 28-7, your final. For Matt Lane and Nathan Edwards, I'm Ashley Brown. Have a great night. Game Night Live in the books.